Hello everybody, it is time for the final day of the top 8 bracket double elimination. Of course, I'm Aineva, joined by the wonderful and talented Nia, who held it down amazingly yesterday in my absence. Thank you so much, and I'm back that he's here with us today. How are we feeling, Nia?
I am feeling great, and we got two good teams here just up in this lower bracket, and I gotta say, this one might just go far.
Oh, it absolutely should. And before we get into our teams today, let's take a little quick journey, a little wrap up of what happened in this aforementioned top 8 bracket, right? We had a banger after banger, whether on stream or off stream. Level is Rising and Timeless Nightmare both 3-0ing our coming up match, right? A lot in winners finals. It was a very tight knit game. I watched it with bated breath. I was anxious. It was a 3-2 win by the skin of their teeth on Gibraltar for Lava Rising, which secured them the spot on winners side grand finals. On the losers side of things, we have our matches laid out for you today on the Risingcord stream with losers semifinals and losers finals, but grand finals will be covered by Overwatch Esports, so please at that time go check it out. But until then, stay with us, have a little chat. We're gonna have predictions up for you guys as well, which first of all, let me go do right now with my 3,000 points. Ooh. But these are gonna be some extremely close teams. EXN Sabers, they want to win today. Emergy Amethyst having a lot to prove, being so far in this bracket, so I am extremely excited to see how today's loser semis will be unfolding.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you here, and we got to see like a lot of great professional, gameplay from the side of Sabers, where Zachary K was popping off up on that tank roll.
Absolutely. Zachary K, likely one of, if not the most well-known tank player in Rising, previously having played on Timeless Nightmare, now has moved over to Ace and Sabers. But we can't forget, Zeta is, of course, she is also the tank for Ace and Sabers. So let's give her flowers as well, playing that tank role extremely well, just as well as Zachary K. We have Rat and... wow, I mixed up Cat and Rosie as Rat. That's hilarious. Cat slash Rosie on that DPS, Julia and JLH on the DPS line as well. We have Handdog, who popped off yesterday, Sir Handdog, on the Brigida on yesterday's stream, playing the support line with Sky in her back line as her right-hand man. It is Sky and Chrissy on the Kiriko, and I'm, again, excited to see how Ace and Sabers are going to be holding up today after a banger event yesterday for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And, Sabres, just their first match that was, broadcasted up on stream yesterday. I feel like they did a fantastic job. And even today, when they play a team that, played against Timeless Nightmare, I gotta say, the series matchup point could just go far here. So I'm kind of predicting that map 5.
Oh, I am too, especially as we move into showcasing Emergy Amethyst here. The team. We have Vaxis always popping off on the tank role. She is absolutely incredible to watch, very talented diva player, but also flexes to the other tanks as well. Sophie and Neko likely going to be doing their own sorts of popping off in their own regards, especially when they're pocketed by the support backline of Sea Bunny and Frostbite. Ooh, this is a good match. Sorry, I got the jitters. I am so excited for these matches. I'm actually going to implode. The winner of this matchup will be moving forward to losers finals against Timeless Nightmare, and I know Timeless Nightmare is itching for a run back with Level is Rising, so it's a lot at stake today, a lot at stake. And let's also mention the elephant in the room. Timeless Nightmare is not in the favorite position. They got a second last minor, I apologize, minor 2, and they want to prove themselves to get that number 1 spot over Lava is Rising, who has a similar kind of passion. They haven't gotten third last season, falling to Timeless, previously Timeless Anomaly in minor 2, and now they have just risen up from the ashes, rebirthed themselves in that in that grand final spot, and just one game away from first place. So I'm very excited for all of our teams today. So of course, for Amethyst, for Extinction, it is going to be a battle and a half, and also knowing that the next two teams moving forward are even bigger bosses.
Yeah, especially, and even looking at, the first map here, Ilios, we got to see a heck ton of action of this yesterday. So a lot of these teams, just up in the bracket, know the play style of this. So I'm, expecting that great gameplay. We might even be able to see those flyers up on Ilios, even those brawl tanks as well.
Absolutely. And we're starting off on Ruins here, which will be giving our aforementioned backlines on either team a lot of room to work with, especially if we're seeing Sophie already hovering over this Widowmaker. Neko gonna be likely going over to the Tracer or the Genji as a response after the Symmetrical Teleport. And look at the difference in compositions already. We have the Orisa from Vaxis, we have the Diva locked in for Zachary K. The backlines are different, save for the Brigida, who's going to be staying on either side here between Frostbite and Star Handdog. And Star Handdog's Brigida was a menace yesterday, so I expect the exact same thing to happen today. Here we go, starting off very strong. TPs from everybody. What are we seeing? Tracer versus the Genji.
Yeah, and that should be really, really exciting. Though we do look at the tank battle, this is going to be a duel for everyone up in this match. They will definitely need the tank stop over.
Oh, but they had to think how they're going to be able to peel for Sophie when Zachary Craze up in her face. Just getting the first pick there is absolutely massive. It allows Ace and the Sabers to walk freely without being in the sidelines of a Widowmaker like Sophie, right? Who swapped over to the Ashe almost immediately to mirror Rosie here, or Rosie, may I apologize. The objective still has been unlocked. It's a battle for this coast area. They're pushing Ace and Sabers, pushing Emerging Amethyst towards this right side objective into that tight little room, and we've lost JL already. That's absolutely humongous for Amethyst here. And Zachary K demacked. That's huge.
Yeah, and MRG, able to find that pick up on Zachary K. So let's see if they could follow up on this pick on the Juno.
They should be able to, especially when Seablane just gets her own win condition going out there. The backline of the Extended Sabers down for the count, and just like that, the objective flips very quickly back over to Emerging Anthem's favor, and they're starting to push up a little with Neko poking a bit with the Genji.
Yeah, and I like the aggression that MRG is, putting on the Sabres here. They are really, pushing themselves up into that front line of Sabres, trying to hold that position around the corners. But if you look at Vaxis, they're going to have their ultimate, right? That Terra Surge is going to be something that they could use, even Frostbite's rally.
Oh, they got healed by Zachary K. They're half health already, has to disengage with the Diva. Terra Surge is online for Vaxis, and she is walking in this small little corridor, but chooses not to approach with the Terra Surge. Instead, it's still Zachary K so low on health. Needs a little bit of care from Zeta here in order to make sure that the EX Sabers can actually push through. Julie, super low, gets the health pack, gets regenerated enough for the next team fight to happen, but 40% already going towards Energy Amethyst. EX Sabers has to start something off here with a Diva.
Yeah, and maybe we'll be able to see that early aggressive Terra Surge come out, but we also see Sea Bunny. They will have their Orbital Ray, but Sophie getting the pick there up on Rosie, I gotta say it, that's pretty massive.
Absolutely is. You've lost your Ashe, you've lost your long sidelines. Tracer doesn't really have the damage output, the burst damage that Ashe can have with those headshot multipliers and the dynamite area effect, right? So, Ace and Sabers has to wait. They have all 5 ultimates ready, where Emerging Amethyst has 3 in the ult bank, coming up on basically 5. So, who's gonna pull the trigger first?
Maybe the side of Sabres, right? They need this aggression to their side, and it seems to be that they're doing it with that Orbital Ray. So maybe we could even see Zachary K pop that Diva Bomb, but it seems to be the Terra Surge.
It's gonna be Neko going down around the Genji, and Rosie finding her own way to pop off with herself and the Bob just to make sure the team fight is won. I will have to be a little bit critical here. 4 ultimates expended in that one fight for 91% to now 30%. Emerging Amethyst has their own Bob, has a Dragon Blade at their disposal. Oh, Sophie, bestie.
Yeah, and this is looking a little scary for the side of Sabres, right? As you said, there's only one ultimate, and Zachary K has that one ultimate for them. But MRG Amethyst, they will have these 2 ultimates to work with, and they are both DPS ultimates, so I kind of see a lot of value here.
Sophie has to retreat a little bit, has a Bob still in, and it's Spencer right onto the objective itself. The bomb has been used, and Zachary K might fall down without a mech. Bob gained the floor all by himself. I love my other tank in this game. Recaps the objective, gets the Dragon Blade off from Neko, while everyone in Saber is kind of, I'll say arguably C9 the point, losing it all to a Bob, which allowed Emerging Amethyst to get a leg up in the series on control point. 1-0 already on Ilios.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Neko is gonna be a player to watch here up in this series. We got to see a lot of those blades come out to play just yesterday up in their series. But MRG Amethyst, I really like the aggression that they're playing here with their tempo. I like what Vaxis is doing. Even, the high ground that we got to see Sophie playing up top with the Ashe. It was pretty fantastic.
The replays. Wait, we have replays today. Oh, the productive value. I love it here. Oh, great observing from my observers who are able to catch these replays. Big shout outs to production, big shout outs to observers behind the scenes. Now moving on to Lighthouse, extremely dive centric. You're already seeing the swaps. I'm sorry. Uh, you're seeing the swaps a little bit here. Neko and Sophie still on the Ashe and Genji, but Vax is mirroring Zachary K on the D.Va. Now with the Ana Brig instead of the Juno Brig over here, and we're starting off real strong. Zachary K offending the enemy high ground here, and has to retreat almost immediately as soon as they were able to come in.
Yeah, and this should be pretty interesting from the side of Sabres to see what they could do against the side of MRG, which has been showing a nice, strong confidence term. But I gotta say, MRG is just trying to control this side, and they're taking looks at that main support.
Vax is super low, sub 200 health, has to get healed up by the team here. But before we can see any other approach coming in from EXN Sabres. And just like that, I mean, Sophie finds the diff on Rosie there. And it looks like Steve Bunny can be following suit after Julie is wreaking havoc in the back line. Just putting all the pressure on both Sir Handog. I'm sorry, not Sir Handog, has their own teammate. On Steve Bunny and Frostbite. But the objective is still be going over to Amethyst first and foremost.
Yeah, and you look at how much value Sophie's doing, just controlling that high ground, and, we now get to see Vaxis, following up on that pick. But Sophie has been a big player, just throughout this map here up on Ilios for the start of it. So if Sophie keeps on getting this momentum towards, MRG Amethyst, I gotta say, MRG might just be running away.
They're going over to the high ground here, and they have to be careful not to let the objective slip past their hand a little bit too much. That's kind of what happened last time, right? The objective went to 90% in just one team fight. It was so long and stalled out. Neko on this Genji, pretty much uncontested here, as you are seeing Zachary K going in for these dives, but getting peppered from all of these angles. The health must be so careful. Steve Bunny called out immediately by Zachary K, who does not care. Goes straight for the backline, goes to the DM. The bomb is online for her. Will it be used is the real question. Oh, Sophie, get out of there! The bomb is there! We go for the nano! It's huge! It's fat! It's massive! Oh, Nia, it's big!
Yeah, it's a crazy ultimate for sure here, just up on this lighthouse points of Ilios. And, it seems to be now that Sabres will have stuff to work with. We don't see that nano for Zeta just yet, but we will have this Blade, Pulse Bomb, and D.Va Bomb, and Rally for the side of Sabres. So they got 4 things to work with, but MRG Amethyst, they'll have about, 4 as well.
Oh, Sophie going up to the catch. They had mentioned a deflect comes through, coming in from Rosie, who's not making the pivotal swap to the Genji, but C-Bunny finds the pick here, which is absolutely massive for Energy Amethyst. The post-on goes long, finds nobody with the floor. Sophie putting down Julie in every way possible, and Zachary K once again shut down after an attempted remake after the D.Va Bomb.
Yeah, and that's pretty unfortunate if you are Zachary K, just trying to use that D.Va Bomb to kind of get some value, but it seemed to be it wasn't that way for Zach. But, we get to see MRG Amethyst, still trying to run up into this fight. They are approaching that 99% mark, and they have these ultimates to use here.
Blade is expended here, and it looks like Neko is kind of fishing for it. The purple is huge on Vaxis, however, forces her to retreat, go back to safer high ground of the lighthouse. Here comes the rally coming in from Sir Handog, and as a response, boom! The Juno orbital ray is there, but Neko is not, gets slapped. Is AFK from the fight. The Nano Blade has been expended. It's not there, but by Zachary K, she has been demeched and annihilated. Rosie going in with her own Dragon Blade. Is it going to be enough? I fear it's not. Energy Amethyst just has the right calls, has the right plans, made the right swaps, and had a better ult bank to take it 2-0 on control.
Yeah, and these DPS players, right? These are going to be players that, EX and Sabres will have to watch out for if you are heading up against MRG, which they are. But, we got to see a lot of play from, the Ashe players here, especially off the side of MRG. But looking at the replay here, we got to see a nice play of the game here from the side of Sabres.
Nothing to be to scoff about. She's very, very proficient. Wow, my room looks like I'm in a horror movie. What happened?
I
That's
got daylight,
crazy.
you got nighttime.
Oh, but it's okay. I'll fix it later. But oh, here comes the replays. Yes, how could we ever forget? Oh, I just couldn't get the mega pack in time for Sophie, but it's okay. I feel like it still was pretty close. There's a couple of adjustments that I'm sorry, that EXN Sabers could attempt to kind of change a little bit, but
Yeah.
otherwise, Energy Amethyst looking very clean, very solid in that entire excursion. Sorry, my hands made a really weird sound. I'm sorry my mic picked it up, but otherwise, I think Neko's a problem. Neko is very proficient on this Genji, has gotten so much value off the Dragon Blades multiple times, gets very early picks, as well as Julie on the opposing side of EXN Sabers. She has also been just kind of, well, not here, but anywhere else, she was popping off on that Tracer, getting a lot of really good picks, a lot of good distraction. Ooh, the sleep was generational there. Oh, shout out to Zeta. Absolutely incredible sleep coming in against the Genji Blade, but unfortunately just wasn't enough. Energy Amethyst just kind of takes and rolls with the punches on control.
Yeah, and I mean, both of these, DPS players, we gotta, give support to, especially, we look at the tempo and play that they could bring to the game, and, just looking at that Ilios map, there was so much to look at.
Yeah, there is. We're gonna be getting a quick swap coming in from Sabres. I believe it was Chrissy for Zeta. If I remember that correctly. So yes, we're gonna be having that. Maybe a little bit of some specialty is a-okay. I love to see it. Chrissy can be filling in that flex support role for Zeta there, and we have an open map pool. You can choose between Hybrid, Escort, Clash, and Flash are both the same map pool, so if you choose one or the other, you cannot choose it again, as they are considered the same map type. So,
Exactly.
I really want to see where Sabres wants to take this next map. I'm gonna fix this camera. I promise. In between, this is actually insane. I look like there's like I feel like I'm in a horror movie, and there's about to be someone in the background who's gonna come and like destroy me. Like, not even my poor light can't even save this. Oh my goodness. But looks like we're going to Gibraltar. Ooh, I love me some good Gibraltar
Winton
here.
hometown.
Um,
Winton hometown.
Oh, Winton goes crazy here. Let's be so for real. Winton goes absolutely insane here.
Yeah.
Winton, Ana, Brigida, Juno can still be played here. Dive can be played. I love it. Oh, Gibraltar. Oh, I love you.
I do like the diva potential that you could do with your ultimate of diva bomb. You could get a lot of value, especially even like primals up on that upper ground, hitting the people off of that, and now you're controlling that higher ground. But looking at it, both of these teams here will be running that diva composition, so dive will be that comp that both of these teams will play.
And as you should, Gibraltar kind of known for its dive, whether it's with the Diva or the Winston. Um, And it feels like, I guess both teams kind of agree that Brig Ana as a backline is a necessity here for Gibraltar. Sophie's putting the arm sleeve on. Oh, she about to lock in. She's locking in on the aim, putting the arm sleeve on. It is a battle between Sophie and Rosie, I have to say. Oh, Chrissy putting leg. What do you mean by that? Chrissy, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Oh boy.
Let's talk about it. What's a leg sleeve? A
I
sock?
mean,
All right.
hey, Ana has a scope, right?
I had to say. All right, they're going for the teleport onto the bridge strat. Julie going straight over to the Tracer. Neko's still on that Genji, and now it is time for the pick of choice. Oh, big sleep on Frostbite, but Zachary chooses not to approach, and the nade goes wide from Chrissy, not able to find the purple needed for the dive for EXN Sabers on their attack.
Yeah, and maybe Sabres could try and do something here against this side of Amethyst, but, Amethyst is just trying to find some value here with Sophie at the moment up on that Widow, but looking at Zachary K, applying that damage.
A huge sleep, and it would have been really bad for Chrissy there, for Sea Bunny, because Frostbite really wasn't there with the Ana, but thankfully, excellent peel from Vaxis means that our Ana stays alive. We are forgetting the point. Surely. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you,
somebody's
Neko.
escort.
Surely we don't forget the point. Oh, Rosie gets
Ooh.
Sophie in the thick of it while she's distracted. This is huge for Ace and Sabers.
Yeah, and this was a massive pick, as you just recalled off of, and that Widow duel is going to be something that we're going to be able to see even more and more here up on this Gibraltar pick. But we know the potential that MRG could do with the Genji pick, especially. We got to see a lot of gameplay out of it. But looking at the ultimates, they're trying to charge something up.
They are, and we do see that Julie gets shut down, but not before taking C Bunny. Yeah, got him. Got her one. Sophie does find Chrissy, so we have now Gold and Ana on either team here in this next team fight, which has now left the objective. Zacharykay has to back out. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. And not really an ultimate in sight. Dave is, closest to a nano for C Bunny, but otherwise, Zacharykay gonna be the first one to come up with that Diva Bomb as Emerging Amethyst cleans up the team fight.
Yeah, and Sabres will be able to use this Diva Bomb here, this next fight here. Same with Chrissy. They will be also able to use that Nano to possibly engage off of one of their DPS. So that might go up onto the Widow pick here to go up against Sophie. But, looking at how Vaxis and Neko has been playing, it's been kind of nice.
Oh, wait, that was mind games. Chrissy was egoing Sophie a little bit on the Ana versus the Widow, and then while Sophie was distracted, Rosie just got the sickest pick of her life. Absolutely massive. But here comes the rally, the Nano Blade. I'm sorry, yeah, Nano Blade. We have Technos online. Neko gets her one, but is it gonna be enough? I don't know. Only gets one with the blade, and then gets shut down by Zacharykay. Vaxis only having Diva Bomb. Zacharykay having to use it a little bit earlier on. The sites is now online, mirrored even for either side. And unfortunately, with the kind of a head-to team battle, it went nowhere. The objective is still where it has been the entire time, with only a minute left to go.
Hey, trust me, maybe, chat will kind of promise us something about a Poco Bomb here up in this series, but hey, the Pulse Bomb's out, and it does get the break.
That's huge. Then your Ana's all by herself, and C Bunny knows this, trying to get away to save to at least have a partner there, gets a mini pack, but it's not gonna be enough. Whips to sleep, uses the nade early on for themselves, and it's still, I love it. I love egoing a Widow too, but just gets destroyed by Sir Handdog with the rally active, gets the whip shot, and purely put the objective. Now that we're up so much for Ace and Sabres.
Yeah, and I like the aggression that the main support's doing. Sir Handdog's doing a fantastic job up on the side of Sabres, applying that pressure up on the MRG. But as well as MRG, right, they have been doing a fantastic job even, just trying to hold this side of Sabres. But Sabres will have Zacharykay's ultimate, so that Diva Bomb could be something pretty dangerous for the side of MRG.
It should be, but not if you're sleepy, not if you're naded. Gotta retreat back to the objective. As Rosie pretty much uncontested all the way back here in the server room, trying to find Neko before a deflect comes through or anything like that. Tries to get a pick, and ooh, that is a D-Mech for Vaxis without Diva Bomb to help out. Big purple means that Sir Handdog in a bad spot, but Sophie a little bit worse for wear. And without your tent to even get a remake, yeah, you get the pulse bomb, but you actually walk into it. Julie completely evaporated by their own pulse. The pulse bomb is here. There is of course gonna be the nano blade. I'm sorry, the nano coming and expended on Neko, who still has blade. It's here, but there's no nano behind us. The power's a little bit less and worse for wear. But Zacharykay can't defend all by themselves for too long. It is just a hair from point one.
Not gonna lie, that kind of looked like mind games, right? We got to see the Genji go up top, then the Genji went right back down to that point. So yeah, nice little play there up on the side of MRG, kind of tricking the side of Sabres. But, just looking at how this is going, right? It's still kind of might be possible for one of these teams here.
It should be. I mean, I think the backline of Emerging Amethyst is so coordinated because Sea Bunny and Frostbite are very undiveable. And they're typically going first with these anti-nades that allow Vaxis and Neko and Sophie to follow up on in their own way, right? So it's very interesting to see the momentum very much being in favor of Amethyst here. And now that they're kind of a leg up, you're kind of breathing a sigh of relief. Oh, I only have to push it to point one. That's easy. Half the objective is just putting Tracer on point anyway and getting it halfway done, which is exactly what E10 Sabres was able to do with Julie. Emerging Amethyst is going to be going over to having the Genji out. We are going to be seeing Sophie likely go back to the Tracer. Um, I mean, this pulse bomb from Julie, you can see in the kill cam. I think
This was nice.
that was good.
Boom.
The pulse
Yeah.
bomb that Julie did, where she kind of fell to her own ultimate, I think was the turning point where EX and Sabers might have lost that engagement, lost that point. Had Julie was able to stay alive, it would have been a different story. But
Anti?
okay, Sacred Cake, backing
Interesting.
up. They're going over to the bridge. Our backline for Emerging Amethyst is set up on that bridge area, making sure they can get an anti-nade out for Chrissy for like maybe engage on, or vice versa for C Bunny.
Yeah, and that should be, pretty interesting for the side of MRG. They're going to try and escort this payload as much to that point possible. And, Gibraltar, if you don't cap this first, it's basically the hardest escort push in Overwatch. So let's kind of see what MRG could do, even with the picks that they're pulling here.
It's not looking very good, Nia. We found C Bunny, yeah, but we've lost 2 others on the side of Jason Sabers. So Emerging Amethyst can kind of walk in the backline here, especially coupled with Sophie, who is just peppering the backline with even more damage than necessary. It's looking like a little bit of wrath for Jason Sabers if ZQK can't get out and doesn't get redeemed back. But that's perfect. They're out. They do have Julie and Rosie there just to make sure we can get something. We call out the recall, go for the deep flag. Julie just 1 HP, gets meleeed out by Sophie, and this is the last engage.
Yeah, and this is kind of scary for the side of Sabres. We get to see the players fall, and just looking at this side of MRG, it seems to be now, just taking this Gibraltar map. What a strong push that they did here.
It was very strong, and you could also argue that the foundation for Ixen Sabers was a little bit weak. It was weak,
Yeah.
a little bit weaker than Emerging Amethyst, and Amethyst was able to find so much value off of a weaker foundation of a defense from Sabers, which is really good for them. They're up 2-0 in the series. They're going over to a next map, which is of course going to be Sabers' pick here. And as we mentioned, it can go either way. Any map, anywhere, anytime, they're ready.
Yeah, hopefully, it's a little closer for the ones that are watching up in chat that want to see a nice series here. But, with the aggression that MRG is putting up on the side of EX and Sabres, it has been a lot of pressure for Sabres to just try and do something at the side of MRG. So if it keeps on going the way of MRG Amethyst, and that, with the aggression that they're pulling towards Sabres, they could just be running away with this one with that easy 3-0.
It might be the same song as we saw earlier in the round 1 phase of this top 8 playoffs bracket. So Ixen Sabers has their backs against the wall. They had to find some sort of mode that works for them. And this is extremely adept on control-like maps. So they're good on control, they're good on ideally Flashpoint, right? They're clearly good at the escort and hybrid maps given Gibraltar. Getting a clean 1-0 victory here. So where do you want to take them? Do you want to take them to a hybrid? Do you want to take them to a Clash? Give them a little bit of a surprise factor, because Clash can be so...
Push? Might be an
even
option.
push. Even
Yeah,
push would work.
Zachary K kind of showed us something yesterday with the ball pick, right? We got to see mines after mines after mines, and it was really, really significant, especially because they kept on following the picks, and it was just over and over again.
Absolutely. And Ball has been this weird spot, I've noticed, where he hasn't really got any buffs, right? The last one he got was previously, he just got like 100 ammo given to him after he had 80 for so long. And, like, wait, why is Ball being played more? And it just so happens, I think there's a slight creep from Ball as the other tanks get adjusted, nerfed, or buffed. He starts to kind of come from the back end, starts to become a problem, and a lot of teams don't really know how to deal with an effective ball comp, like we saw yesterday with Push, with EX and Sabers on that ball. So I'm excited to see, but before we get to all that, we're gonna have a quick break before we get to our round 3 possible decider match. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
See you soon.
And just like that, we are back from our very quick break. As a recap, Energy Amethyst is up 2-0 in the series and are on match point to finish out a 3-0 win into Timeless Nightmare, who's sitting patiently in losers finals. I'm Samanavo, joined by the wonderful Nia, and where could we be going? We talked about a little bit before the break. We talked about push. We talked about the ball comp, maybe. What can we be expecting here?
I gotta say, just looking at yesterday and how Sabres kind of performed up on push, we could see the push pick come out and the Coliseum map pick as well. So if they were to pick that, I gotta say that might be able to favor Sabres here up in this series. It just depends upon what MRG wants to play against that ball composition. But, Zachary K was popping off up on that ball, so that might be pretty significant for him.
Well, I have been thinking as well, and with the comp for Emerging Amethyst, they're very content with allowing their DPSs to run the Genji Ash, the Genji Tracer, the Genji, whatever, some people really wants to play, right? So,
Yeah.
if she wants to play Widowmaker, if she wants to play XYZ, that's gonna be the option. But speaking of Widowmaker, she can absolutely do that on King's Row. Very brawl heavy, but kind of flexible in what you can be running here. But if EXN Sabres wants to run with the Ramatra, that might be the play for them.
Yeah, to punch through shields and, with that rework, Ram's gonna be able to do that, and it's gonna be great up on the side. And yeah, Zachary K, as you said, will be running the Ramantra pick, and I kind of like this backline, right? We are now gonna be able to see Chrissy up on this Ana, so we might even be able to see those nasty anti-plays, but it seems to be Zachary K going over to that Ryan.
Zachary K does not play Reinhardt. I
He's
know this
trolling.
for a fact. Absolutely! I know they're trolling! Like, Vaxis is going over to a reset, which I'm okay with. She did get a recent adjustment, low nerf to her health pool. She now has more health, but less armor, if I recall correctly, by about 50 health points. But Rosie on the Widowmaker, trying to get the first pick here, and I hope that she does. What we're gonna be seeing here, do we get anyone? Ooh, finds Neko, but just barely whips right over her head. Goes for the repeak and finds nothing. Deku K does go over to Ramantra, like I said. Zach does not play Reinhardt, so unfortunately, for all my people in chat, no Ryan for us today on King's Row.
Hey, a little bit of that womp womp moment, but Zachary K, gonna try and show their best here up on Kings, and I kind of like this aggression. They're trying to wall off the other tank.
A little bit wide there. Ooh, Sophie got a great dink onto Sir Handdog, but Simba couldn't finish out the kill with dog game poked out by Julie here. Now we're going over to this high ground. Neko going straight by themselves. Zachary K having to extend the Nemesis form and hold block just for that 75% damage reduction. The overheat does come to her Vaxis, making her reach a little bit more of a target there for the side of Energy Amethyst. And where's the health pool? It's gone. Vaxis is down for the count by the side of Rosie, but D-Bunny and Sophie clearing in their own right, but Zachary K coupled with Rosie on this objective. Does Neko left? I like this.
Here we go. Yeah, this is getting a little dangerous now for the side of Sabres, but, MRG is just trying to keep this aggression up, and it seems to be that they're doing it.
The contest coming in from Emerging Amethyst at the last second was absolutely massive. So glad Neko was able to survive throughout all that effectively with the Genji. Now they're going for a big rotation around the hotel. Zachary K has Annihilation almost ready here. He's burning. Ooh, Risa. Araxis is purple by Chrissy, meaning that Vaxis is down for the count once again. The bomb has been expended from Sophie, but where is it? He's right on the edge of the objective on that telephone pole there. And Neko has to expend the the blade here just to keep this team defense alive.
Yeah, this is like fantastic gameplay, from one side to another. Neko doing a nice job with the blade there up on the side of MRG Amethyst, and even the ball placement from Sophie. That was pretty, insane up on that. It could have gone another way where it wasn't placed there, and they probably couldn't find that value. But just looking at it, they did, and they have these ultimates to play it.
Oh no, Chrissy, who has a nano, so that means that Ace and Sabres has to just kind of back up a little bit, regroup as a team with about a minute and a half on the clock here. Could go really either way. We have 5 ults ready for EXN Sabres and Energy about to have, they have 2 instead of 3. No, Juno ult
Scary.
means that they can use the Bob from Rosie and put all the pressure in the front line of Amethyst. So much that they have to back out towards the archway. And my C Bunny's gone from the game. We
Oh
gotta go for a pause.
no.
We have got to go for a pause. Quick pause break as we
Oh.
have lost my Juno, who had ult. Oh my god.
No orbital ray. This is a bad thing for MRG, right? You know, I feel like that orbital ray could have been huge that fight, but as you said, you know, C-Buddy DCing there won't have that orbital ray coming back. You know, joining in, they're going to be starting at that 0%. But looking at the side of Sabers, as we saw, they basically had every single ultimate there, and they were pushing their way into that fight.
They utilized just the Bob at first just to have an extra bit of manpower on that objective, and Amethyst had to back away. And they also had just previously before the DC, C-Bunny had just gotten picked off by Rosie. So they were already down the Juno ultimate before it could even be expended into that team fight. But now they're definitely down the orbital ray. It was just so unfortunate because I'm pretty sure Sir Handdog has their own orbital ray ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can just hold on to it. They don't have to mirror it. They don't have to feel pressured to use at the same time that C-Bunny would have had to use her orbital ray. So both Sir Handdog can just be like, hey, she can be chilling. She has it for next fight, which is great because to push the objective through that archway can be so difficult for so many teams. So Sabers has a little bit of an easier time getting through there, having the upper hand in the support ultimates.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you here. You know, either way, we did get to see a lot of that aggression up on the side of MRG Amethyst, where they were pushing back Sabers when it looked like that Sabers was going to be able to take the point. But, you know, just looking back at that fight where, you know, Neko popped the blade, they found the value, and if they did have the orbital ray still, if C-Bunny was still up in that fight, I gotta say, MRG could have possibly held that first point, and it could have went bad for Sabers there. But now looking at it, this is a big favor for you.
It is. It absolutely is. I mean, it's so unfortunate. I think if I have the
Yeah.
stream up ready here, I can see the delay. And yeah, C-Bunny was just picked off too early and then DC'd. And, you know, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Quick little break. We'll be going in as soon as we possibly can. But in the meantime, Sabers pretty much has arguably a free win here on unlocking the objective, which is great. They already had a tick. They just had to, you know, finish it out. Zekrk can keep her ultimate. We can keep the May Blizzard. We can keep all of our ults because we're chilling. Now, you have to take the hardest part about King's Row for a lot of people in our ranks and Diamond below
Profiles.
is trying to get to the streets and having that momentum to just snowball over to point 3 basically. And with this kind of momentum build up for Sabers, they should be able to do that, but I hope the defense of the Orisa for Amethyst will help stop them in their tracks.
Yeah, and you know, maybe we'll be able to see what we saw, you know, yesterday up on the streams where it went midway up on King's Row, and you know, we got to see the payload stop because both of the tank players, everybody up on the teams were fighting that neutral fight. But yeah, I gotta say, you know, the series here up on Kings still is pretty unfortunate for MRG.
Yeah. I think we just gotta wait a little bit. Looks like it's gonna be a little bit of a longer breaks, a longer pause. So would it be best to go to a quick break screen production just until we have our? Yeah, let's go to cut to a quick break. We'll have C-Bunny back hopefully for a 5v5. I don't want this to go to a 4v5.
Fingers
so
crossed.
Let's all hope that C-Bunny comes back ASAP. In the meantime, we'll be back with the game once we're unpaused. Bunny's back! Yay! Bunny has
Hey,
been
clap it
reached
up.
out. We're back. Faith, you can chill in the chat. You can relax. The team does not need you right now. You can cheer us on from the screens. I'm so glad that Steve Bunny is back. Yeah, exactly. Bestie. Um, Again, very unfortunate that we're gonna be losing out on that orbital rate from Sea Bunny. However, Frostbite has a rally. Vaxis has a Terra Surge for that
Yeah,
extra fortify. So you know what? Not horrible,
which
but
they
they
can
do have
sustain.
to exactly. But they do have to concede the point, back up, and wait for Sea Bunny to come back from the spawn.
Yeah, and it might just be a little, scary for the side of MRG for this first couple of fights, with EX and Sabres, pushing this. As we said, Sabres will have the ult advantage with 4 ultimates, but looking at how this is going, it seems to be that they're getting focused.
Oh, we're gonna be playing the Sir Hannah. Going to use that orbital rate way earlier than expected just to get away from the streets. The Blizzard as an extra precaution, which finds Frostbite. Having some Frostbite there in the Blizzard. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely massive for Jason Sabres to escape from the hell that is the street phase.
Yeah, and this is kind of good for the side of Sabres, making this aggression that Zachary K is doing. They will have this annihilation, and I gotta say, if you are Sabres, right, this is gonna be something that can be massive for the side of them. And even, Chrissy, right, with that nano, possibly, double it up onto the, side of that Annihil, and it could go their way.
Oh, we're going in for the nano on Zachary K here. It's not going to use the annihilation quite yet. Wants to get rid of this fortify first before even going in for this annihilation. And there is the shield is up, and we're just poking out. We're waiting for it to come through. Ooh, we have to because our mate now no longer has that ice block. Zachary K expands the nano. I'm sorry, expands the annihilation, may I say, and gets pushed back by Vaxis, whose HP bar is just not moving, unwavering. Zachary K's annihilation is gone. It's back to a regular drive fight, and the nano blade from Neko from behind can be massive if it's popped right now.
Yeah, and Sabres, they have literally no ultimates at the moment, but Sir Handog will be trying to charge up this ultimate here at 65%. But if you're looking at MRG Amethyst, right, they will have these ultimates. You're about to be able to see 5 ultimates up on the side.
To shutting down Julie, who got called out in a very unfortunate position in the Mega Pack room, and now forcing Sabres to wait out on their flex DPS, may I say. Again, Amethyst, look at their ult economy. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
4.5 ults rally coming up. Sabres only having the Blizzard, but arguably could be fight winning.
Yeah, and it's a little scary for Sabres at the moment, but as you said, it could be fight winning, especially with Sir Handog's Orbital Ray, so that might be something that we can see popped here this next fight. But C-Bunny going quick.
So quick, in fact, we find 2 of our own. The Terror does come through. Zachary K melee's Frostbite, gets them out of there. C-Bunny's Orbital Ray is still was expended, but unfortunately just didn't find the value needed for Amethyst to win up this team fight. And you know what the best part of it all is? Julie still has his Blizzard in her back pocket.
Yeah, and I gotta say, she's been doing a nice job, especially up on the side of Sabres. And if you look at Sabres, they have been doing a fantastic job ult tracking, saving those ultimates for what seems to be possibly this fight.
Oh my god. Dude, Rosie's Bob almost went off the objective, just narrowly stopped by knocking into somebody and stopping at the very edge. I think it gets whiplash off by Frostbite, but ooh, we have already expended the last bit of resources, the last little bit of time, and we go for the annihilation on Justice Supporters being left around there. A minute and a half gone, now reinstated in the time bank for Sabres on this hopefully final push.
Not gonna lie, this is kind of good up on the side of MRG, forcing out that annihilation that Zachary K pulled out there up on the side of Sabres. But looking at Sabres now with their ultimate, they only have Chrissy's, right? So what are they gonna nano? Possibly their, Ramatra, or even their May for those nice icicles. Even, we can see that Ash go up top.
Argue we're probably gonna be seeing a nano on a nemesis form Ramatra, right? Oh,
yep.
Oh, Frostbite's down. We have no Brigida. There
There
again,
it
there is
is.
a nano. Is here comes Nemesis Form. Zachary K now able to walk all over Vaxis, who tries to get the mini pack, but it's off or not. Less than 50 HP. You get pummeled to death by the nano Zachary K. 30 seconds left on the clock. We don't have quick spawns. Vaxis still trying to come back with a Terror Surge. C Bunny gets shot out from the high ground from Rosie, and Vaxis makes a pivotal swap to the Diva here as everyone is trying to contest. No one is looking at Rosie though, who is able to find all the headshots, all the dynamite damage, and build up this Bob. And Julie at the same time has the Blizzard in her back pocket, and it is a full cap with 8 seconds left.
Yeah, Rosie up on the Ash and even, up on the side of Sabres. They have been doing a fantastic job, but seeing Rosie play that side angle, dynamiting the team of MRG, that was pretty nice, right? You get the dynamite up on their team, you're finalizing the picks, and it went your way here. And especially just looking at the time, right? 8.9, that's close to zero. I did see up on Hollywood yesterday a zero 0.5, I believe.
Yes,
So at least it didn't
5
go that way.
centimeters. 5 centimeters. That what? Oh my god! I saw that and I was like, wait, you have plot armor? Because what do you mean you got 5 centimeters on the off
It
the
was so
objective? I'm
crazy.
sick. It was so clutch, so
Yeah.
clutch. Um, oh my gosh, Emerging Amethyst having a little bit of a different DPS lineup here on their attack phase so far. EX and Sabres gonna be sticking to the same thing as their attack.
I kind of like this though if you're Sabres, right? Because you're going to be able to, Maywall them off. You're also going to be able to do the ram slows too. Even Chrissy can also hit those anti. So they have three factors, possibly four, if, the dynamites also hits as well. But this is looking really good for the side of Sabres because they have those abilities to play with. But looking at Amethyst, they might just be starting to try and get extra damage here for that aggression.
Looks like Seaplane might be just pocketing the Widow here. Maybe, oh no, just letting Sophie do her own thing. Doesn't really get a pick here. Goes over to the Ashe immediately. Neko goes to the Genji. Now this is a comp I'm a little more familiar with for Amethyst, as Neko is very extremely fond of this Genji. Ooh, we walled off. Sophie's a little far behind. The Nano, I'm sorry, the nade comes through on Vaxis, and they gotta be expending that Risa as soon as possible. But Zachary gets pushed back. Has to get a little bit of care from the team here. Has to hold block, but Vaxis gets so much damage off of the primary fire from the Risa, and Sophie
What a shot.
just finds Julie at the same time.
Yeah, and I like the aggression that Amethyst is bringing in the Sabres here. They are really pushing Sabres back here, and that push that we saw from Vaxis going through that room, it was so quick with that Juno speed ring.
And there's kind of separate Rosie there, but I think Julie dropped the wall a little bit too early, and they didn't realize that Sophie was kind of by herself there. Could have absolutely been picked off, but
Yeah.
it's okay. 5.5 minutes on this board here, and already Vaxis is down. Probably pushed a little bit too far up before any kind of support can really come her way.
Yeah, so without Vaxis here, Vaxis will have to try and regroup with Amethyst. So let's see what Amethyst could do here now with Vaxis backed up in the fight at 71%. I gotta say, we might be able to see that early Terra Surge popped here from the side.
Here, I love the really close hold that Sabres is going for. Oh my god, Neko. No way Neko gets out with 1 HP. Sophie can't say the same though. Gets called out by Zachary K with the Nemesis form. And Neko, there we go, gets found out by Julie on the May.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic pick on the Sabres side, focusing them out. But looking at the ult economy, right, Zachary K will have this Annihilation, which they could use against the side of Amethyst. Even that Nano and Juno Orbital Ray, same with their DPS ultimates, right? So they're going to be approaching that 5 ultimate economy, but looking at the side of Amethyst, they're going to have to go quick.
She's walled, she's walled, she's walled. She couldn't get the Terror Surge off, and she got antied. There is an Orbital Ray coming from C Bunny, but is it all for naught? The Nano comes through on Zachary K as a response to keep them up even longer. The Bob also another factor in that team fight that allowed Sabres to win out when it looked so in favor of Amethyst. Vaxis now mirroring the Ramatra.
Yeah, and just looking at the side of Amethyst, they did cap with 5 minutes, so they do have a lot of time to work with here. But looking at the sides of Amethyst, they have these two ultimates that they can work with. Matter of fact, three. I kind of almost missed that one there of your Neko. But Sophie launching in that Bob for that extra position.
Oh, here comes the Blizzard right in the alleyway of it all. It finds Vaxis behind the entire team, but we can't forget about Bob there. Sophie just gets shut down by the ultimate, but that is a-okay. I'm not Sophie. Sorry, I was gonna shut down by the Sophie Bob, but it's okay. Should be back soon enough.
Yeah, and I kind of like this, holding tempo that Sabres is putting on to Amethyst here. It's really nice and sustainable for the side of them, right? We got to see fights go their way a lot of times here, even though it is approaching that 3-minute mark. Can Amethyst do something? Yeah, because they have two ultimates up in their bank, so we might be able to see that engage, and it seems to be they're trying to do something.
Oh, and that's a I mean, they just run right to the back line. You saw that? Zachary
Yeah.
K goes for the annihilation, and tries to kind of shut down that engage, but I think it was a little bit too late. We did expend two ults there. The Nano, I'm sorry, excuse me, the Dragon Blade and the Rally from Frostbite will be used for one annihilation. Not horrible. Chrissy should be close enough to get that nano before Sequin can get her orbital ray off. But one thing is for certain, Vaxis is going to be coming up in annihilation very soon, and Saber is going to have an answer for that.
Yeah, either way, we loved that ult fight there up on the side of MRG Amethyst. That was pretty nice for both of them. But yeah, as you said, Vaxis will have this annihilation, which Amethyst up on the side can do, but the sleep...
Oh, my Sophie was sleeping, taking a little nap on the job there. Was unable to be a part of this team fight, and Vaxis, there it is. There comes Annihilation, and you see Zachary K trying to kite away from it, make it become disabled as soon as possible, and there it is. It's gone. But look how push far back they are, while the objective is now so close to these objective. It's a lot of trades-off. It's a little bit scrappy, a little messy, but Vaxis still finds the arms at the end of the day. The Nano gets expended on Zachary K, which I'm not sure if I agree with there from Chrissy.
Yeah, I gotta say though, this is something that MRG Amethyst kind of needed, right? Now they get to have more time up in their time bank, which is huge for the side of MRG. But if you're looking at Sabres, I gotta say, right, you might have to just stop this push. You have some ultimates charging up. Zach could use the Annihilation, even Sir Handdog. They could also use that, nice ultimate that they have, which is Orbital Ray.
Sophie and Neko are both stationed on this high ground, putting all the pressure on these angles against Sabres. Sophie's super low, has to retreat back to get some healing from from C-Bunny that I keep mixing everyone up, so sorry. But Bob is ready for Rosie, that's the real thing. Sophie finds the pick on Julie, Julie gets the pick on Frostbite, it's a trade-off of a trade-off. And Zachary does find the value against Vaxis in the Ramattra 1v1 there. Bob is in the corner, meaning he can peek any angle alongside Sophie, who's going for this overclock. Slides out for safety, but doesn't find too much value off of that ultimate. It forces Amethyst to back up.
Yeah, and Amethyst will have 4 ultimates coming up. We get to see the 3 that are up in the bank currently, so they can try and do something for themselves, and it seems to be 2 of them will be bombed.
And here's the orbital ray from Steve Bunny and Annihilation, but Vaxis is shut down a little bit too late. Here comes the Blizzard just to hold out this area and the Annihilation. Oh, it's a wipe. Every ultimate from Amethyst was used and got little value. Sabres having slightly better odds in that team fight.
Yeah, this is so massive for the side of Sabres, right? This is something that they definitely needed, and we get to see Chrissy building up that Nano ultimate, which they could use, right? If you're up on the side of Sabres, Sabres will have that beneficial value, which they, use the Nano up on possibly Zach here.
And he comes through, doesn't really find the anti, but gets a lot extra healing for Chrissy, who now has a Nano. Health pool super low. Sophie on this off angle, putting a lot of pressure on the side of Sabres. Like you said, there is a Nano on Zachary K. Everyone backs up. You don't want to deal with the Nano Nemesis form from Zachary, but, they're going in. Rosie shuts down Sophie, who's a little bit too far up angled, and now it's just a battle for the corner here as Rosie is on this high ground, almost uncontested.
Yeah, with this aggression of defense from the side of Sabres, if they keep this up, they might be running away with a point here. But if you're looking up on the side of MRG Amethyst, it is match point. So if they bring this to that overtime, extra time situation, they could push themselves up into that 3-3 situation, which they need. But looking at the ultimate economy, the Bob's going to be out.
And Bob's right in the middle of the field. Oh, you just gotta hold that. The shield does have to go up, and everyone aims have to go back. But I mean, it's 5 seconds left. They have no tank. They have to
That's
touch. They
massive.
start off with the orbital ray. We try to go for the wall up, but Neko finds her way around it and through it. Even Zachary K almost gets walled up, has to go for the block, and everyone's antsied from
No.
Chrissy. And here's the Anai from Zachary K. It is a done deal. Neko doesn't have the the May freeze to stay alive. Zachary gets frozen, but still getting lots of care from their own backline. Maxis forced to go to Diva, but all for nothing. It's a point on the board for Sabres in a very nail-biter Game 3.
Sabres is fighting their way through King's Row here, and I gotta say, Sabres just up on the side of them, they have been doing a fantastic job. Even Zach, right? We got to see so much of the Ramattra picks, and the Annihil was excellent there.
Yeah, once you know that you have about a 30-second time bank to push, to defend, right? And you know that the other can just use basically all their ultimates that would have that much significant value in that small exchange. You know you kind of just have it. You have a Blizzard in the back pocket, you have Annihilation, you had also the Nano being expended early on. So, I mean, Sabres ran away with this win on King's Row. And this means that they're not out. They're still back into it against Amethyst. 2-1 so far.
Yeah, just looking at that blade, yep, on that replay was pretty fantastic up on the side of, MRG
That was the
Amethyst.
DC. That was
Yeah,
the
the
DC.
DC of Sea Bunny. That was pretty unfortunate, but I really, like the way that Sabres kind of put themselves out there with their defense, right? I feel like that's something that they needed here up in this series. So it's definitely beneficial up on the side of them. They started all tracking even more, started positioning better. So a lot of benefits went to their sides for factors. But MRG Amethyst, it's not over. You're still, up on that match point. So if you win this next map, you take the series, you move up onto Timeless. But looking at it, there's still a lot of competition.
There is, and I also want to mention that replay we saw with Rosie on that angle at the very last objective for Sabre's push. That was such a hyper-aggressive angle to be pushing in on as Ash when their spawn is right to your left. So
Very true.
that is some confidence that I will never have. So kudos to you, Rosie, for getting such an aggressive angle, being in there in that fight, getting those picks off to help the team get to the third point. Very well done from both sides here. In all honesty, very well done for everyone. And good kudos to Amethyst for, not really allowing the DC from Sea Bunny to affect their mental too much. I think they still had a great push here on their attack phase, but I think just small little things were the big factor. So that's really it. That's really all I gotta say about that map. I think it was very well played from either one. And oh, we already have our next map pick. It's gonna be Saravasa picking in from
Ooh.
Amethyst.
Hey, I gotta say, maybe we'll be able to see more of that Brawl composition come out, more of that Orisa, more Terra Surges.
I do think that Sabres is a little bit stronger with the Brawl than the dive. Amethyst has
Yeah.
excellent dive. We've seen it not once but twice now on Ilios and on Gibraltar. The Brawl, a little bit more even, slightly in favor of Sabres there on King's Row, which is the most Brawl heavy map. So if we go with Saravasa, I might see the swap to the Queen Brawl, which I'm always a fan of. I love Queen. I see a Queen, I'm like, ooh.
Maybe. Yeah, the rush compositions could be huge here because you could play the corners quick, especially if you have a Juno to speed ring or even that Lucio amp for speed to go around the corner when that other team isn't expecting you to. So if you could surprise that other team, you have the winning benefit here.
We do, and we've been seeing the Juno Lucio become more popular coupled with the Queen specifically on Servasa for that exact gameplay you're talking about. But this time we have Shout, Speed Ring, and Amp Speed. So you will always be just cruising around the map, doing whatever you want, ideally, for Servasa for Queen double speed comp. But I don't know how it's gonna go. That's assuming we do see the queen come through. We could just be seeing the Ramattra with the same backline of a Juno, maybe Juno Kiriko, Juno Ana, Juno Brigitte, for the Ramattra to kind of speed around and have that support backline to keep the character up. But otherwise, it could really go either way. But Saber is showing that hey, they're not out of it yet. They still have a want to win, a need to fight.
Yeah, and the aggression that Zachary K could do up on that tank roll was really impressive up on the side, going up against MRG Amethyst. But taking a look here, that waterfall is pretty nice up on the side of Suravasa. And I do know that there is a crocodile up in those waters.
There is stop playing on me. I never knew that.
I swore there was.
I don't know that. I've never looked. I don't even know where we are. I don't even know where this waterfall is. That's the observer's job, not my job. I'm here to play and commentate. But whenever there's a pigeon, wait, there's pigeon on this one. There are pigeons on Saravasa. Where are my pigeons? Observers, what the heck? My pigeons! No, I'm kidding. We're seeing the resale from Amethyst and Zachary K sticking onto the Ramat right here. So no queen, sad phase. But Vax is trusting the process with the Risa once more.
Yeah, and I like this side of Sabres where Zachary K will be able to play that Ramatra pick, which we got to see a lot of value from the side of Zachary K and Sabres from that last King's Row map.
Oh, well, there's a wide rotation Sabres made all the way to the back end of the point. Neko by themselves here as they go for a flank on the on of Chrissy, who misses a sleep. The defense does get a saw out, however, but unfortunately, Neko just can't find the kill as the rest of her team is gone.
Yeah, that is actually crazy up on the side of Sabres, able to follow up on those picks, and now looking at it, Baxis will be able to switch over to that D.Va, so that might be something to switch up their composition tempo.
And to kind of shut down Rosie a little bit more on that Reaper, as she didn't get a two-piece in that first engagement, so... Excuse me, Neko coming in on the back end, knowing the supports are just there chilling. But Chrissy is up there with the rest of the team, not able to be found out by Neko. Big speeder coming in, but even bigger wall kind of disrupts Amethyst's tempo there. But, I mean, Sophie and Sea Bunny and Neko all putting in the work to clean it up even without their tank. And Zachary K left all by themselves to maybe contest as long as they can. But 70%, not too bad on the board here.
Yeah, Sabres, putting that aggression up on the side of Amethyst, but Amethyst, the one actually doing it. The Sabres, they're just up in that last fight. But looking at it, both of these teams will have some ultimates charging up, right? We get to see Sabres almost with their Annihil, almost with Orbital Ray, close to the Blizz, but up on the side of Amethyst, they're close to that Orbital Ray, the Cast, the Blade. So they got 3 factors for both of these teams here.
New way to see how they're going to be using all of the ultimates in conundrum with one another, but Julia having that Blizzard really early on might be generational. It just cannot be eaten by Bacchus, who I know is itching for that Blizzard to be snatched up like a snack. Ooh, Deadeye's ready. We go for the roll, but oh, you saw Sophie try to go for the Deadeye in the middle of the Vortex and just get shut down, and the Deadeye eaten up like a cake. Sea Bunny super low, getting called out by Rosie. Here comes a Blizzard. Chrissy shuts down Sea Bunny at the same time, and the point still in favor of Amethyst. We have to flip it soon enough. And with Vaxis now without a mech, can actually take the brunt of the D.Va bomb with the block. And it's just Nekolev who finds Chrissy, but not for long.
Yeah, all I gotta say is I think Sabres read them like a book. MRG Amethyst will have to reset this one. But looking at it, they will have these ultimates to play with, both of their supports, so Orbital Ray could be a big factor. But if you are MRG Amethyst, are you even going to be able to touch this? It seems to be yes.
Dax is going to be going first and foremost for it, but without the TM to help out, Rosie can just utilize that Death Blossom pretty effortlessly. Oh, here comes a Nano coming in, and it doesn't go anywhere. The Annihilation is coming through from Zachary K, and are we gonna be able to find Vaxis before Zachary's armor health goes down? And looks like we will. Not just that, but they will have a tank. Wait, Annihilation is broken. Annihilation is the most broken ultimate in the game, I'm convinced. And we have form. Yeah.
Oh, wait, this is actually insane.
Wait, Contest God? The Contest God is here. I forgot. But not for long, I fear.
Also, Sabres is still trying to fight up on this point, and it's still kind of going, those neutral fights, but Sabres will be able to take that first one up in Suravasa. But looking at Sabres, right, they really don't have any ultimate really close to, but if you're looking at Amethyst, Sophie's gonna have that pulse bomb.
Absolutely. Oh, Christian goes back to over the Ana. Not too bad, you just used Dano, so you didn't really lose too much ult economy there. Looking like Neko again, going in for the backline from the back of Sabres there, and ooh, I'm sorry, the rest of Amethyst following suit as well. Objective unlocked soon. Sophie has a pulse bomb. Ooh, she be using it on likely on Christy to shut her down, but Neko's so low and getting run down on. Surely we find Neko and Rosie the one who does it. Pulse bomb finds nothing, but the air goes nowhere. Vax is so low, just has, it can't even get the mini pack, it's gone.
Yeah, and the Diva Bomb does come out of the side of Amethyst, and it doesn't find much value here.
Oh, but we do find Rosie at the back end of things. The Blizzard is ready to go for a little bit of testing coming in from the side of Sabres, who have now capped the point in their favor. Oh, we solo froze Diva? It's okay, I get it. I get it. You do not want her living any longer. My Zachary K just gets blown up by Pharah. Oh my god, Neko making the swap to the Pharah here.
Sophie, though, you know, putting in those battles, getting those picks, give Sophie so much credit there. It was so good at the positioning-wise, following up on those picks. And looking at it, Sophie's going to be close to another Pulse Bomb, even MRG Amethyst with their support ultimates.
Ooh, and Neko builds up that barrage so quickly as well, which I think is also pretty massive. The only really answer you have is now Rosie, who's swapped over to the Cassie to maybe deal with her a little bit there. Zachary does have the oh, that's big wall, huge wall, but even better, they've lost Rosie. They've lost Rosie, but we've lost T-Bunny and Vaxis about to get demeched for their efforts. Neko's super low as well, trying to put as much pepper damage as they possibly could, but it's all for naught. They might have to back out with the rest of the team and just contest a little bit longer before getting shut down by Julie's Icicles.
And to be honest there, you know, MRG Amethyst trying to fight that point either way if they were down players, just trying to stall that time. And I gotta say, 73% is a nice number, but they will have to get back up into this fight. And it seems to be they will have these ultimates to use. So as you said, right, that Pharah player can charge up those ultimates pretty quickly, you know, forcing that pressure up on EX and Sabres. So we might just be able to see that nice barrage here.
Oh, but here comes the orbital ray from Sir Handoff. Roger's ready, but no one's ready for it. Oh, but they were! Sir Handoff turned around and said, get me your health bar. Get down. Rosie finds a pick on Sophie, who has been tormenting her for the entirety of this objective fight. Frostbite tries to use the rally for some extra survivability on her tank, but it's all for nothing. It is another 1 point for Sabres. Just one more for a game 5, Nia.
Yeah, and I gotta say, if Sabres keeps this up, they will be running away with Suravasi here if they hit that 3 mark. But looking at it, right, they will have these ultimates to work with. So 3 up on the side of Sabres. But looking at Amethyst, they could use that orbital raid to get a little aggressive off of Sabres, which might not be a bad idea.
I agree with you. If you get that leg up in that first engage and kind of cycle your ultimates accordingly, you should be fine. So here we go. Looks like Neko already stationed on this high ground, putting a lot of poke damage on that entryway for Sabres. So much so, look at Zachary's K's health bar. Has to use the nade defensively so early on. But Nano is waiting for Christy. And so is that Deadeye. There's no spin to negate it. We go for the orbital ray, and there's a blizzard, and we find Vax and Frostbite, who gets shut down, but Zachary K falls right on over.
Oh, and that's going to be a little unfortunate for Zachary K there, but the Cassidy ultimate is out, and it's trying to look for some picks, but it doesn't find any value for the side of Sabres.
Rosie has to back up a little bit, just can't really go on to Sophie there or C-Bunny, but oh, C-Bunny might just get called out right then, and that's a big stack we don't need here.
Yeah, and you know, I love the aggression that Sabres is doing here, and I gotta say, with a point underneath Amethyst, it's something that they definitely need to do against MRG. If they want to make their way to that map 5, they gotta keep on doing it, and looks to be they are approaching this 50% mark, and they will have these ultimates to use.
The coach gun. My goat, instead, I love the adaptation, goes inside of the little area, still has this beautiful off angle coming through, And Vaxis just
Ooh,
explodes!
all the
A
sleep.
big sleep! It's a little bit late. We did lose Julie, but the, I'm sorry, the orbital ray is just there to help Saber stabilize again. Oh my goodness. Sophie's gonna have the Bob coming up. We're gonna have the Terror Surge, but Zachary can't has Annihilation, and there's 5% left to contest. Is anyone gonna do it? It's gonna have to be Neko. No, we don't touch! Oh
Oh.
my days, we don't touch! What do you mean we don't touch? No! It is a victory 3-0 on Flashpoint for Sabres and on a cusp of a reverse sweep here.
Oh, I do gotta say, if it wasn't for the sleep up on the Pharah, it could have gone a different way for Amethyst, where they could have possibly controlled that objective. But looking at the side of Sabres, their aggression, their tempo, their playstyle is so significant up on the side of MRG, and they were really, really controlling this.
That was crazy. The Brawl v Brawl forcing Vaxlot to go back to the Diva. It didn't work out too well because you're countering the Hiscan on the other team, right? You're
Yeah.
countering the Cassidy, you're countering the Ashe, you're countering the Reaper at some point, right? But you have a Mei up your butt, you have Ram pummeling through your defense matrix. It becomes so much more difficult for Vax to have her opportunity to shine on the Diva when Sabres is doing so well at shutting her down. But we're gonna shut down things just for 5 minutes on a quick break as we start getting our maps ready for this absolute nail biter game 5. Don't go anywhere, be right back. And just like that, what started off as a 2-0 lead for Amethyst has now snowballed itself into a Game 5 deciding match. For the match up into Timeless in Losers Finals, Energy Amethyst. Oh, MRG Amethyst versus Sabers 2-2, going over to Esperanza.
Yeah, and this might just be something that, we're able to see a ball comp come out on the side of Sabres, because whenever that push pick was used for Coliseum on yesterday, we did get to see Zachary K pull out that ball comp. But it's kind of questionable because it's now a different map. It's ESP, but it's not your average Coliseum. So I'm wondering if they will use it here, but I'm kind of still feeling more of that ramp.
Feeling that we're going to be seeing Amethyst push on with a dive here with the D.Va, as it's very good for her comp-wise. And then we're going to be probably seeing the same ramp brawl from Sabres. But I have a feeling the backline's going to change up a little bit. If Amethyst is wanting to go towards that D.Va with Vaxis on the D.Va and like a Neko, Sophie, Tracer, Genji backline, Chrissy's gonna have a world of hurt if she sticks with the Ana. So I really hope we see like a Brigitte Juno, a Juno Kiri as a swap here. Even though
In
Juno
the
Bap.
city of Portugal as we are on here. But yeah, as you were talking about, right? We can get to see the Juno gameplay, and here we are. We get to see Zerhan Dog and Sea Bunny up on that Juno pick, which is going to be massive for both of these teams here. But Vaxis playing the D.Va as is for MRG Amethyst could be that game changer that MRG needs, because they don't want that reverse sweep that EXN Sabres is building up here. But Zachary K and their team have been doing a fantastic job, so let's see where this one goes.
Let's see how Zachary is going to lead Sabres to victory, or if Vaxis will be the leader in question to have Amethyst take back the lead here after a cusp of reverse sweep from Sabres. So here we go. Look at the setup. They are going in. And who is in the blue over there? Is Sir Handog with that extra shield armor. I thought that was a blue. I was Amazon for a second coming from the back end. But actually Neko coming in, putting a lot of pressure on the front, on the back line of Sabres, and has to retreat. And Sir Handog finds the torpedoes on Seabunny, and Rosie peeks the corner and just shuts down Neko. Poor Vaxis, not able to really retreat before, unfortunately just getting demeched by Sabres. No sleep on Ana for Chrissy.
Yeah, and I gotta say, if you're Sabres, this is really nice. Now you got this forward momentum pushing in to almost halfway to this meter checkpoints. But if you're MRG Amethyst, maybe you can get aggressive here with Sophie, try and focus their main support or their backline support, which is Ana. So maybe if MRG could apply that pressure, they could turn the bot back around.
Here they go, going for the dive onto Chrissy. And, ooh, it is a massive W for Amethyst here, but the bot has now gone to the checkpoint. It's waiting for that butt scratch. Rosie super low, has to go for the, has to expand that Wraith form, but Vax is shutting down with the laser so early. But once again, she's demeched. And Zachary K is still up and alive and healthy enough on this objective. And now with Julie regaining her health bar, here's a Nemesis form. Will we find at least one pick here? Not really. Gonna be seeing Frostbite shut her down immediately.
Yeah, and MRG definitely needed this, especially when Sabres pushed that halfway to that checkpoint. So you're kind of in this early stage of Esperanza where you have 8 minutes to play with, and looking at it, MRG will have these ultimates, right? We get to see the Pulse Bomb ready to go, so that could be a big factor, especially if Sophie could focus out those backline supports.
Especially on Christy, right? And I think she's looking for her right now, but oh, we're in a bad spot. We're on top of a wall. Where in the wall come from? It's stuck on somebody. It finds Sir Handog in the worst way possible. They've lost their Juno, they've lost their speed and some of that healing output, and Sabres has to kind of wrap around and go towards the main objective.
Yeah, and this is kind of, flipped now for the side of both of these teams. Sabres now defending, MRG running this one to that checkpoint, but Vaxis doing a nice job popping that ultimate, trying to find some value.
And this is what I was talking about. When you have that D.Va, you can get those consistent dives on the Juno, and the Ana, it makes Sabres' life so much harder to do. They can test here. We go for the Blizzard. Doesn't really find much, but we're pushing forward for Zachary K. So technically, the neither team is in the lead. The game says it's
Yeah.
Amethyst, but the checkpoints here are completely even.
They are really wanting us to watch this one as casters for sure, but Saber's gonna try and apply this damage to Vaxis here, which Vaxis is able to back up here to hold that corridor room. So I'm really wondering what MRG Amethyst is gonna have. They have these 3 ultimates, 4 almost. Sophie with another pulse bomb.
Oh, that bottom goes completely wide. Doesn't really find much. Neko goes for the Dragon Blade and finds Julie before she's able to stay alive with the May freeze here. Annihilation does get expended. Neko falling victim to the little nanobots of area damage that the ultimate does provide for Zachary K. Oh, Vax is found out by Rosie in the back end of things. Now it's just the Forest trying to stay alive together, and I think Zachary's gonna back off a little bit here as they try to retreat. Love the vortex behind them, and it kind of separates out Sea Bunny for a little bit longer as the bot starts to push.
Yeah, and as you said, we really like to see this aggression of Sabers. They still have these ultimates to try and use against the side of Sabers if you're MRG, but the rally does come out, and I gotta say, it might be significant.
I hear a rally, I hear a nano. Nano on Zachary K. We lose Frostbite, but ooh, Julie is getting super sought out by Sophie here on the trade strategy you had mentioned. And I think it's really just Zachary K contesting the bot by themselves here. And thankfully, it's a wrap. We did expand the rally there, so well, it's looking pretty good for Amethyst with the Pulse Bomb and the Diva Bomb.
Yeah, I gotta say, you know, us casting this one is going quick because there is so much action up on this Esperança City of Portugal. But, you know, just looking at it, right, Sophie will have this Pulse Bomb, Vaxis will also have this Diva Bomb to use, but if you're Sabers, right, there really isn't anything, and the Pulse Bomb doesn't find any value.
That Pulse Bomb went so wide, didn't even phase Julie there. The sleep definitely gets missed out on. Chrissy super low, has to get a little bit of healing from Sir Handdog, which she absolutely does. Bunny can't say the same for Frostbite, however, who is without a Juno and gets stalled out, but hasn't gone down yet. No Ana for the side of Sabers, and Vax is able to run rampant and free on the Diva, where the objective is still being pushed by Amethyst.
Yeah, it's going the way for MRG Amethyst, and this is something that they definitely need to try and equalize their stall mates or push forward here and try and get more than 96, but I gotta say, EX and Sabers could go back up into this one with their DPS ultimates, same with their other ultimates. That Annihil could be extremely dangerous.
Oh, and no mech, so the Death Blossom, once again, doesn't find too much, but oh, the tracking from Rosie to find Neko was great, and shutting down the remech was even better. Sabers still in the lead by about 7 meters here.
Yeah, so it seems to be if you are Sabers, you're going to have control of this bot, and you have 3 to almost 4 ultimates. We get to see Chrissy almost with theirs. But yeah, these 3 ultimates up on the side of Sabers could be massive and beneficial. We get to see Zachary K from all these games played just throughout this series. They have been really fantastic with the Zachary Annihils, but both ultimates coming out here.
And Neko not really getting the benefit of the damage boost from their own orbital ray means that she gets shut down so fast from Rosie. And just like that, I love how Saber's just running with it, getting the logistic back in their favor with 3 minutes to go for Amethyst to get a pushback in for their own side.
Yeah, and this is kind of scary for the side of Sabers now because they are, you know, approaching this MRG Amethyst team, which will have these ultimates to use. But, you know, Chrissy will have this Nano, so maybe Chrissy will use the Nano up on the Zachary K, which Zachary K could get aggressive here.
Oh, Neko super low, has to back out, had the Nano, had the nade onto her. Here comes Nemesis form, pushing pressure, but here's the bomb. Doesn't really find anything. Gets the remag, however. Pretty good for Vax, especially as you can see the nade is huge! Oh, the purple was big from Chrissy. Was actually fight winning in that regard. You saw how low Zachary's health bar was, but we still haven't found the Diva. Vax just finds another sneaky remake in the thick of it all.
Yeah, and the Nano up on the Zachary K is pretty beneficial, right? Zachary K able to find those eliminations that EX and Sabers needs here against MRG Amethyst. And I gotta say, with the pressure that they are applying to Amethyst, it is going their way here.
Another rematch, it's a third one in the team fight, but I think it's gonna be the last one. Vax is finally shut down by the Death Blossom from Rosie. We have the Annihilation ready, we have the Orbital Ray ready. Julie can build up that Blizzard so quick in this possibly last engagement. And Neko so low, has to back out before a real dive can really get started for Amethyst.
So here we go, both of these teams here are going to battle with the ultimates, and both are going quick.
We've lost Chrissy, but we've also lost Sophie and Frostbite. It's half of the team of
neutral
Amethyst gone. Neko gets their one on Rosie as the objective is still being, still gonna be
oh boy,
out contested, by Amethyst, and they finally get it back, but at what cost? 134 to 89. They have about 3-ish fights to win out here.
So it's coming back if you are an MRG Amethyst fan here against the Sabres, and this is something that Amethyst needs here, especially after the 1 minute and 10 seconds here up on Esperanza. The question is, will they be able to do it? They have these ultimates, right? Vax is trying to build up this Diva Bomb, but those DPS ultimates we got to see a lot of value off of so far from both of these teams, but I gotta say, Sabres going quick.
Oh, Neko finding Chrissy, but Chrissy gets the purple onto her. And stick. And we find Rosie, that's huge, but the annihilation from that is a little bit too much to deal with for Amethyst. They have to respect it. Frostbite gets shut down, Sirhan finds the torpedoes on Sophie, and I think it's just Sea Bunny, yes, left on here. We're going to be going over to the middle of the objective, and now floor spawn's not available for Amethyst when they respawn. They have the long spawn.
Yeah, and this might just be approaching that last fight territory, which both of these teams will have to be very strategic up in their mind play. So let's see what Sabres could do. It seems to be that they're backing up and letting MRG push this one.
They want to use that Blizzard, but they have to make sure Vax is kind of out of mech or erased from the field before it can be expended. And that might be the best time to use it, but it goes out and it finds the supports of Sabres. Just couldn't back away. I would argue that they should hold on to the Blizzard, which they are going to be able to do, and just contest bot. We're in overtime. They have to win at least 3 fights here. One right above the checkpoint, one on the point, and one at the end to win it out at 135 meters.
Yeah, it's win or go home up on the side of MRG Amethyst, but it could also be that side for Sabres where if they, over push this momentum that Sabres have, if they go 135 up into this one, Sabres takes a loss here, but MRG Amethyst really applying this pressure, and it seems to be Sabres is still trying to look for this Blizz.
Oh my god, big purple onto Vaxis here, who gets D-Mexed. This is the perfect time to throw the Blizzard out, which Julie absolutely does. And we shut down Vaxis and Frostbite. That is gonna be really scary. And the Death Blossom to boot on the Nano. Yeah, it is a 1 deal for Sabres. Taking it in a reverse sweep, 3-2 against Amethyst in a nail-biting Game 5 series. That was absolutely well played from both ends there.
Yeah, that was so fantastic from the side of Sabres. The amount of aggression and momentum on keys and everything went their ways with their factors, a beneficial facts. But, EX and Sabres, what a play from all of their players here, up in this series. It was so good to watch.
It was a treat to watch. I was absolutely entertained the entire time. But Sabres, again, taking it in a reverse 3-0 fashion is absolutely amazing. Very well done. Yeah. Let him get a little breather. We're gonna be moving over to losers finals soon, but let's wrap it up real fast. This was a match to have seen today, and this is the first of 2 matches we're gonna be having on stream. The last one gonna be the next one in losers finals, but this is such a great way to start things off for Minor 3 last day.
Yeah, and I gotta say, for the side of EX and Sabres, we got to see a little of that momentum switch up, which yesterday it was a little off, but it was really good. But today, it's on fire, making that reverse sweep happen. But just looking at this replay, right, we get to see this, Sophie pulse bomb, the stick. That was pretty nice, I gotta say. Sophie with the pulse bombs were fantastic this series.
I have to agree. The pulse bombs were absolutely generational from Sophie there. I'm so happy that, we saw so much good stuff from all players on both teams today. But Where I was criticizing Sabres on their ult economy and ult usage in the very beginning, they changed it up. They fixed it. They had an ult for almost every engagement, or they chose to hold on to things knowing that, hey, they over ulted Amethyst. Um, so very nicely done all around, especially for Sabres, who are now going to be going up against the first of two Titans. That is
Yeah.
Timeless Nightmare.
Yeah, and this might be another opportunity for Zachary K to make their way into the grand final if they were to beat Timeless. But with the aggression switch up, with everything that they are doing, I gotta say, this Sabres team might have a lot of potential against this Timeless team.
I think they absolutely do. I think they have a lot of potential. Really great bomb coming in from Vaxis here. That was
That was fantastic.
incredible. In a
Yeah, the
perfect
two
world, they would have
picks.
been up and they would have been enough, but this was not a perfect world. This was a world where Rosie had Death Blossom and Nano.
Yeah, so much came out there, just up in that last time overtime fight. But yeah, what a series we had up on our hands.
It was great. I had an absolutely amazing time. We're gonna let our team have a little bit of a breather because that after a game 5 series, I would be shaking. I had been shaking before, so give them a little bit of time to cool down, rest up, let us get a little break, let you revitalize your thoughts, get your blood pressure back down. We're going to a very quick break as we get Timeless Nightmare, apologies, versus EXN Sabres coming up on deck for a fight to fight Lava Lilies and Grants.
See you guys soon.
Welcome back, everybody. We have made it to losers finals between EXN Sabers, who had a banger reverse sweep against MRG Amethyst, to make it over here against Timeless Nightmare. It is gonna be a banger to close out the stream on Risingcord Productions. But I'm Evo, joined by the wonderful Nia once more, and we're gonna be holding it down for you as we close out this last match of the day, which could go. Let me not lie. Timeless is likely the favorite to win here.
Yeah.
But EXN Sabers, after kind of getting their warm up, getting their comms ready, getting going further and forward with the maps, they kind of showed out. I can't lie. So I feel like Timeless might have to be. They can't underestimate EXN Sabers. Is what I'm trying to say. They can't underestimate them at all.
Yeah, and the last time we got to see Timeless play a team, it was never against Saber. So this is a new matchup here up in this lower bracket. So Saber's taking up on Timeless. This could be a different storyline. And I gotta say, if Sabers could upset Timeless Nightmare, it's gonna be a Zachary K grand final once more.
That is true. Both of these teams have some players who have been in this grand final spot before, as of last major, right? Or I'm sorry, last I keep saying major, but last minor too. Here's the update on the bracket. We had just seen the loser semifinals of EXN Sabers versus Amethyst 3-2, and now EXN Sabers has a lot to prove here, going against Timeless Nightmare. And I'm actually gonna check the Swiss stage to see if they have fought before previously. I want to say they haven't. However, never know about the Swiss stages. But regardless, it is gonna be extremely fun to watch this go out, and it looks like they have never played into them. You're correct. Going against everyone and their mother, besides EXN Sabers. So it's
Interesting.
this is a first match between these guys ever. They went against Kaiju Core. They went against Buzzcare. Both EWM Cats and Kittens, and at the aforementioned Amethyst in the Swiss stage, but they haven't gone against Sabers. So they gotta fill each other out, both teams here.
Possibly a new storyline to be told here against with this matchup, which we have Sabers taking on Timeless Nightmare. But, just looking at it, Sabers might have this upper advantage, but Timeless might as well too.
And now let's go review back to our rosters here. Zeta, who had played the Flex support previously on the round 1 on Ilios of the previous series, also has the tank support, but we are probably going to be seeing the Zachary K come on deck in place of her. We have Rosie and Julia making an appearance on the DPS lineup. I'll say Diva lineup. What is that? The DPS lineup. Sir Handog and Chrissy on the back line, and it's gonna be fun. Like I said, Zeta could also be playing that flex support role once more, but otherwise, this is pretty much your set in stone roster. We had just seen them, so we're gonna just wrap it up real fast and go straight on over to Timeless Nightmare, formerly Timeless Anomaly. And they have been repping a brand new tank here, as I had mentioned earlier, Zachary K, previously a tank on Timeless Nightmare. Now Shuri taking their spot there with the Arisa, and Soup, Naku, Fabi, and Instinct making a reappearance here, fighting for fighting for the grand final spot once again.
Yeah, and a lot of great names in both of these rosters here. So, matter of fact, it should be a fantastic series to watch, but I know that there is a heck ton of Timeless Nightmare fans out there, but an upset could happen, and I gotta kind of favor the underdogs here, because what we got to see from Zachary K was some massive instinctive, damage up on that tank roll. But we got to see, Soup pop off yesterday, playing that high ground advantage, either way, if it was up on Cass or Ash. So if Soup doesn't get focused here throughout this series, it could go the way of Timeless Nightmare.
Cards, it should go with Timeless Nightmares, that they are definitely favorite to win in this matchup, having gone another nail 5 fighter in winners semis, may I say, or I'm sorry, winners finals. Before they had dropped down to the loser side, it was a game 5. Oh my god, overtime, last situation that happened, and unfortunately they just kind of blew it a little bit, but it's okay. They're back stronger than ever as we start things off on Busan instead of Ilios.
Yeah, and Busan's gonna be that, new map pick for, both of these teams here, which should be extremely exciting to see. But, having Sabres coming up into this one with that momentum, they could possibly switch this up. But as I said, there are so much people rooting this Timeless Nightmare team, so they both have really great momentum up in this series, matter of fact.
Yeah, I think Sabres has a little bit more of a good push because once you coming off a 3-0 like victory, okay, great, you won. It was ideally if you got 3-0, you're easy. It was an easy win.
Yeah.
They came back from a reverse sweep, which is even more layers of excitement of momentum in your back pocket. That Timeless Nightmare is going into kind of cold. Not literally, they're definitely warming up before this, but having not competed yet for the day, and this is their first round. Here we go. So we're just gonna be waiting on our teams a little bit here as they get set up. I mean, Timeless Nightmare has been just chilling. They were watching the stream earlier. I saw some of them in chat. Hey guys, shout outs to you. And Sabres has their work cut out for them. They hopefully there's a siren outside. I'm gonna
Wee woo.
ooh. There we go. They
But
stopped.
yeah.
Hopefully they got whoever they needed. But regardless, it is gonna be it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be scrappy. It's gonna be messy. It's gonna
Yeah.
be bloody. It's gonna be fun for everybody.
I totally agree with you. And, if Sabres wants to bring Zach back up on that Ramatra pick, that could be pretty valuable against Timeless Nightmare. But Timeless Nightmare is a very good team that can be rotating with these compositions. Even EXN Sabres, which we got to see them switch up their comps. But as I said, right, Zachary K up on that Ramatra pick, we got to see just throughout that first series what Zach could do. And it might just bring the tempo here up on Busan, depending if they bring that Brawl composition.
Yeah, and I think Busan gets a little more leeway to go into Brawl on, I guess all 3 points you could just go Brawl. Whereas on Ilios, you're kind of limited, right? On Ruins, you can't really run the Brawl because of those long sight lines, and those 2 Widows or Ashes put so much pressure on a Brawl composition.
Yeah.
And then you go into Lighthouse, that's just dive. You can't do anything there but dive. And, unfortunately, the most brawl-friendly map wasn't even seen because it was a 2-0 victory for Amethyst there. We couldn't even see well in all of her fame and glory. I am glad that Sabres were able to find their niche with the Ramatra Brawl here. And I do fully expect it to be run pretty much the entirety of this series here. Save for maybe like you go to like a circuit or something, go for the Sigma, go for the, anything, a Diva maybe. But otherwise, I'm excited to see how we're gonna roll out in Busan.
Yeah, maybe even, as you said, up on different maps, maybe Sabres could roll out on something else. And something that we haven't seen from Sabres yet is that ball pick. So I'm really wondering if Zachary K will pull this out here up in this series. But looking at Timeless Nightmare, they have a really great stacked roster, same as well as Sabres. But, looking at to this one, I gotta say these brawl compositions might be extremely strong. And this is something that we're going to be able to see for sure.
Absolutely, and looks like Melody hovering over the Malga, which we did see the Malga Moira composition here from 10 Minutes Nightmare a little bit earlier on yesterday, which had a lot of impact, especially on Hanaoka, for example. That was a big factor. But Zachary K hovering on the Ramatra, Julie on the never mind, on the on the Symmetra. Probably gonna go over to like a Tracer or something like that. While Rosie sticking with via Ash, but I am a bit. Ooh, no, we're going with the Pharah. Ooh, I gotta see how this works out.
Yeah, not a bad choice. They could try and play around the buildings, the Spyros. But I gotta say, right, with the Sabres having Zachary K play this Ramatra, they have their slows. Same with Chrissy as well for those antis. So they have the factors. But with this engaging pick, this is going their way.
Yeah, Melody is going to be shut down over and over and over again by Chrissy on the Ana because of that anti-nade. So as soon as the fight started, it's already done with EXN Sabres starting off by hunkering down the point and making it go their way first. And they're ready to start off the second fight without really Melody there to take off the pressure from Naku, who falls to Julie in the air.
Yeah, and this might just be that different lineup change that, both of these teams needed here. But if you're Timeless Nightmare, you kinda gotta get back up into this fight. So Instinct will be going over to the carry to be a little quicker with this Brawl comp.
They have to, because I mean, with the Malga, you kind of have to go in before Malga kind of explodes to Chrissy, for example, right? So here we go. Going around drums, going around in the poke phase here. Zachary K's health bar. Oh my goodness. So low, but Naka has to retreat almost as quick as they were able to go in there. Now, what is going to be the play? I mean, everyone's so low. Chrissy, probably the biggest one of them all, has to be so careful. And Julie won as well. Some care needs to be found on Julie before she herself is put down by Melody, who absolutely is able to take that fight in her own hands. Zachary K trying to contest the point as much as they possibly can. There's a vortex as the Melody goes to the back line, gets naded, but it's all for naught. Good dive from Naku, but still the point tickling up to 60%.
Yeah, honestly, a nice little engage there that Naku did up onto Chrissy. So nice factors of Timeless Nightmare to get this cap to going forward for them. But looking at this, right, they're going to have ultimates to use, especially against Sabres. But Sabres charged up a lot of ult economy. So both teams here will have these ults to use against each other. And it should be a really, really great fight.
Oh, Super's walking. Oh, Super's walking the dog and puts down Julie with a dead eye. That's huge. Look how so close they are. They're taking in Sabres to their spawn. I mean, we've used the dead eye. Great. We're about to have the Kickstarter rush, which instantly gonna be using preemptively and just rolling over Chrissy. They had to start using these ultimates just because of the fact that they're below in percentage on the objective. So they want to hold Sabres in the spawn room as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, and this is kind of getting scary for the side of Sabres, especially how Timeless Nightmare is positioning right around this corner. So, like, as I said, right, you peek the corner, they're going to be extremely surprised with that speed from Lucio. So Fabi's doing a great job speeding Melody around the map, so credit to you. But Timeless Nightmare will have these two ultimates to use against Sabres, but looking at it, Sabres does have momentum.
Big sleep, even bigger barrage, but Julie, I know what happened. Julie goes for the barrage inside the cage, and the cage explodes right in her face. The Annihilation does get expended, but only really finds one there, as Sabres has to wait for the support and their DPS come back. 75% on the board for Timeless Nightmare, and Sabres starting to make a comeback here, inch by inch.
Yeah, so here we go. Timeless Nightmare just needs to try and control this as much as possible to possibly get this to 99%, so Sabres could possibly get something against. But, we get to see the bomb go in.
And even bigger personal Melody. Love the Suzu from Instinct there. It's absolutely monumental for Melody to get some value on the Malga. Bob is gone, put a lot of pressure. Naku has the blade, but is not going to be able to use it as Rosie.
Well, that's massive.
Finds so much value. Soup only gets her hand off with the Deadeye. But with all that done and dusted, Melody's not there. Neither is Fabi. It's just Soup who's getting sought out by Zachary K on the Armatra. A recapture for Sabres, but Naku still has the blade.
Yeah, here we go. As you said, Naku's still with the blade, and they might even just be able to engage off of this next fight, which, if you are Timeless Nightmare, that might not be a bad idea. You also see the support ultimates charging up, especially for them, so that might be also another option that they could use those ultimates by charging them up. But EX and Sabres, right, they have been putting this momentum up on the Timeless Nightmare, but will Naku use that blade?
They have to. Naku absolutely has to use his blade here or never, and now we're clicking to 95%. I mean, they're going for a big push, and even better is a better sleep though. Naku's won, and the Naku does not get any value with that Dragon Blade, but we've lost Zachary K in the mess of it all. There's no Naku, but they have the Destiny Rush from Instinct. There's even better for them in the long run. There's no Juno either, but Julie on this high ground, almost uncontested without Spabby going in and shutting her down almost immediately. That would have been an incredible hold from Sabres, but unfortunately we've lost Zachary K just in the scramble of it.
The sleeps are immaculate from the side of Sabres, and I just gotta say, I love this fantastic gameplay that we're able to see, but just looking at this replay here, we get to see that nice speed in engage off of the side of, MRG Amethyst, basically, controlling that side of Sabres there up into their spawn.
My Chungus Farah. Julie, no! Went for the barrage against the sides of the cage, and it kind of exploded in her face, but It was still very valiantly fought from EXN Sabers, and Zachary K now opting to mirror the Mauga here
Oh boy.
against Melody. Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, and this is for sure definitely a closer map one that people probably didn't expect here going up into this one. But yeah, EX and Sabers kind of taking a lot of damage here.
And with the Mei from Stoop, I mean, there's so much more brawl happening as Rosie and Julie on the, on the Genji and on the Cassidy. And Julie gets run down by Naku, who's now taking favor with the Reaper. And EX and Sabers might actually mirror this composition as it's not too different than what they ran on our previous series against Amethyst.
Yeah, maybe that's an option for them, but it kind of sees to stay for, okay, here we go. As you said, they will switch that team composition and they will be matching it. But I do like what Sir Handog is doing, still keeping the Juno for those speed rings, especially the orbital ray here could be massive just up in those little corners.
The wall does say from Stoop, allowing Zachary to start walking in. The Hyper Ring is out there, but there's an even better wall from Julie, but everyone just barely able to find value. Rosie trying to pepper in the damage against Melody, and she finds it. That's absolutely massive. There's just Naku left, and the Suzu needs to be used by Christy, but Instinct gets Rosie out of there, and Naku was able to find the Blossom at the end of it all. They have persevered in, I mean, they were super low the entire time.
Yeah, and Naku is just doing a fantastic job with that Reaper Blossom. Timeless Nightmare really controlling this side of Sabers this fight as we are up in this map 2 of Busan. But, you know, Timeless Nightmare will have these ultimates. We're approaching 4 for them, basically. They have 2 active right now, but EX and Sabers trying to hold their backs here.
Oh, and Zachary K gets walled off, and it was a really good wall too, and the Suzu was not enough from Chrissy there, but we do have the rush and the orbital ray from EX and Sabers, which hopefully could give them the push to recap this point.
Yeah, so hopefully Sabers does use his ultimates. I'd expect it for sure. And we also get to see that Reaper Blossom almost built up on the side of Sabers. So that is another option which they could engage off of, and that orbital ray and Blossom is popped.
Big, the orbital ray is absolutely massive, and saving the consumer rush is so good. We go for it all. And, I mean, the Blizzard does come out from Soup, but Julie needs to find something before Soup gets blown up by Zachary K. It is a great fight for EX and Sabers as they try to reconcile the point. Now with Melody just now getting there.
Yeah, they definitely needed this if you are Sabers for sure, going up against Timeless Nightmare. But yeah, you also get to see Chrissy. They will have their Kitsune Rush, and they will pop.
Oh my gosh, this is so tight-knit. We have no Reapers on either side of the teams here to force to expend that freeze early on, and there the Blizzard coming in from Julie.
That's nice.
And it just barely catches Soup outside of it. This is very, very good for Sabers as they start to recontest. Fabi just on Lucio here, should be getting shut down silly enough.
Yeah, especially, you know, even Timeless Nightmare being at this 99%. EX and Sabers has Zachary K with their cage fight, so that's an option. Do you save that cage fight for another fight and try and dry fight this against Timeless Nightmare to try and possibly get those other ultimates out? That could be a question for him, but Timeless Nightmare gonna possibly go up into this one pretty strong.
Here it is. Here's the cage. Naku has a Death Blossom and is gonna go right in for it as everyone, their mother's in there, but all this is break the cage, doesn't find any value whatsoever.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I mean, Chrissy just finds 2 by herself. It's 3 even. Oh, that's a little play of the game. I just saw that. Oh, and also a big stagger on Soup. I think gonna get the 4 respawn. I'm sorry, the wave respawn with Melody, but without the Death Blossom, I miss Nightmare has to try again another push.
Yeah, and I gotta say, if Sabers wants to still have this one up in the bag here for Busan, they definitely need a point here to move up onto this map 5. Or map 3 of Busan here, but just looking at it, Timeless Nightmare going aggressive, but that Blossom.
And Zach is out of it, means no one has gotten frozen during that Blizzard from Soup. Very good use of that overrun charge from Zachary K, but Naku comes in, shuts down Zach, and they are walled off, but still finds the value with the self-heal that Reaper does get. 70% on the objective in favor of Sabers. Sir Handog trying to get out, but Fabi right on top of her.
Yeah, now this is a little scary for the side of Sabers, but Zachary K will be there for that aggression, but the cage fight is used from Melody.
And just shuts down Zachary K, and unfortunately, everyone else staggering in to keep the objective alive in their favor. Oh, here comes the Blizzard. And Sir Handog shut down immediately. No contest from Sabres. Zachary K going over to the ball, but I don't even think ball can make it in time. It is a 2-0 victory on Busan for Timeless Nightmare, but it wasn't a sweep as people would be expecting.
Yeah, it's especially closer than, people were expecting, as you said, but this is something that everybody wants to see up in chat, where both of these teams battle it out. And I gotta say, this is something that we're seeing here. And Timeless Nightmare, though, getting this point up on Busan, but Sabres still fighting their way for this.
They are. They have to fight so much. Time is already up a game here, and here's a little bit of the replays. I love the replays. I'm so glad we have it today.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, it was huge. It was very well played by Sabres. This is the scoreboards.
That sleep
why
was
is Amethyst?
fantastic.
It was a great. I mean, it shut down Naku, but unfortunately, it didn't win the team fight for Timeless. For Sabres there, and that's okay. It happens. A little bit of the focus. Naku may not have gotten the Dragon Blade a lot of value kill wise, but they were able to find so much with just distracting the back line enough. So the front line of Timeless, not Amethyst, Timeless, just kind of shredded Zachary K.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Timeless was doing a fantastic job there just up on Busan, and as we saw, that Reaper Blossom was fantastic from, Naku up on the side of Timeless, but, even right here, this was kind of questionable, but Sabres really controlled this fight.
No, I understood why we went for the Death Blossom there, but I think the sustain from Sabres is a little bit too much for even a Death Blossom, funnily enough, right? So, very well done from Timeless, regardless of the fact Sabres a little bit in the back pedal, has to find an answer here somehow in the series. As Timeless, they're comfortable, they're up a game. This is like their expected counted so far, and we are gonna be going over to Watchpoint Gibraltar for our map 2 again. Funnily enough, so
Winton mentioned.
Yeah,
Winton hometown.
or Diva. Or Diva.
Yeah, or Diva. Yeah, Diva has been seen.
So we will be seeing the dive likely come through from both ends here. And Sabres' dive hopefully will be a little better. They know the mistakes they made on their first run through with Gibraltar, so hopefully they clean that up, make it happen, and have a successful time on Gibraltar this time.
Yeah, and hopefully that's the case. And we got to see, Timeless Nightmare go with an overtime push there. It was really, really close against the side of both those teams up in that series. But, Timeless Nightmare, this is basically your chance to show that we could do this now up on Gibraltar and push your way through to a 2-0 lead.
That's what Timeless Nightmare is absolutely expecting to go to win here, get the lead, and do their, just kind of win, right? That is what they are expecting, because, in their mind's eye, they want to go against Lava Lilies.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a uphill battle for Sabres, but they've been in this spot literally just one map ago, or one fight series ago, where they were down 2-0, like they had to make a reverse sweep, and maybe they do it again.
Yeah,
my mental,
possibly.
if that was me, my mental would be in shambles though. If I had to go through 2 reverse sweeps,
Oh yeah.
I'm in shambles.
I can't remember. Was it Hongju Spark that did it up in the playoffs of Overwatch League? I think it was, because it was like
Yes, that's how they got
something?
third. That's how they got third,
Yeah.
I think, in the final Overwatch League. And then the last one was against I'm so fake, Florida. It was against
Florida. Yeah.
Florida
moment.
versus who was which team was Florida Mayhem going up against in the finals? I don't remember. I'm the
That
worst.
is actually a great question.
I'm so fake. I'm a fake RuPaul fan. All I know is that RuPaul
Maybe
won
Shaq
that day,
can
and I
help
was
us
like,
with that one.
yes! Oh, Chad will help us in 3 minutes, so... But here we go. I'll give an answer in 3 minutes. Likely the entirety of this attack phase from Sabres, who are teleporting over to the high ground, like we already set up effectively, and now Soup is on this Widow, waiting for a pick on the Ana or the Brig, and just barely whips it.
Yeah, so maybe we'll be able to see that value that Soup gets up on the Sabres here with that Widow pick. But looking at the side of the Sabres, they're basically just trying to find another also value with, their Widow player up on Sabres.
It's so interesting to see that Fabi's actually on the Iyari rather than a Brigida to help Instinct out and kind of protect them a little bit. So I want to see how this is gonna work out now that Soup is putting a little bit of pressure damage, pressure on
Ooh.
Zachary K.
Oh,
Oh, Rosie just kind of waltzing in front of Soup's sight line there. Don't really know what we were expecting, unfortunately, but there's Zachary K getting completely demeched and shut down by Fabi on that aforementioned Yari.
yeah, and it seems to be that there will be that Genji switch up for Sabres, so Deflex will be coming out. And I gotta say, this isn't a bad swap, right? Because you can get right in front of that Widow and deflect that bullet right back to that Widow.
Maybe kind of poking out a little bit. Rosie trying to find an angle on Soup here on the Widowmaker, as Soup is going to be the biggest factor against Sabres.
Yeah, I totally agree here. And, we get to see Soup holding that high ground, but is slapped. So maybe Sabres can pull some aggression. But it seems to me Soup, with that anti that was hit, needs to fall back.
No pylon for 14 seconds was destroyed by Julie there. They're pushing slowly underneath the bridge here, which is huge. And a big nade comes through from Instinct. And Soup is so comfortable in the very back line. While Sabres is attempting to regroup and get back towards the spawn room. And Melody getting peppered out by Sir Handog on the Brigida.
Yeah, and this first point of Watch Point Gibraltar is the hardest point in this whole entire map to try and cap that first point. So I'm really interested to see what these teams could do with their ultimates, right? We get to see Chrissy almost with theirs, same with the Rally almost building up on Sabres, but if you're Timeless Nightmare, you have that pulse up engage, and you also have these other 4 ultimates.
Ooh, the pulse on Naku just expended goes completely wide. Didn't really find the target that they're looking for. Rosie going in, and we don't even have the Nano Blade, but we're going in with the Nano and of the Blade. Anyway, there it is. Onto Soup. Rosie finds their 3 here. There's a Diva Bomb right behind them on the high ground. Melody is going to be able to find a remech here, but we have to get supports back in our favor. Julie fighting out with Naku in the back line. There's the Widow size from Soup, and there's nothing to contest. They have to be so respectful of where Soup is hiding to get these picks.
Yeah, the underdogs want to try and do something here with these 3 ultimates against Timeless Nightmare, but Soup popping the sights will be able to see everything.
We're going for the bomb. We are. Zachary K trying to, oh, it's a big stick. You saw Soup trying to find Zachary K in the mess of it all, but just couldn't. Instinct gets to pick on Julie, but it's just Zachary left, and has to get demeched. Oh, that's all we have. Zach trying to find a pick on Instinct, but it's 2 meters on just to get to that last objective to reset the timer.
Yeah, I agree with you here. There's 30 seconds left, so this will be final fight territory for both of these teams here. But the question is, will Sabres kind of push this one to that point, which they need? They do have Sir Handog's rally to use for themselves, but the pressure from Naku up on that Tracer pick is so manifestable.
10 seconds left on the clock here. No mine for Soup. That's huge. That's good. We do have the rally ready for Sir Handog. Zachary K all the way in the back line. Gets demeched. Trying to go in. Doesn't have a remake here. Has to stand behind Sir Handog, who's going in with a rally against Melody. Excuse me. Big anti coming in, allowing Zachary K to get a little bit of healing here. Come on now, but Soup finds Rosie. There's no Chrissy either. Soup is just getting there.
Wow.
Oh, Soup is getting everybody. Soup is finding so much value being uncontested on that Widowmaker. Another song and dance for Sabres.
That is fantastic. And as we just hear there, gonna mess you up. That was the first time I heard that one. But yeah, Timeless Nightmare showing really true dominance up on this defense. Soup hitting those shots when needed. I gotta say, if you're ever playing a Widow, it's always up on that Widow pick. You need to hit your shots, and that is what Soup is doing here for Timeless Nightmare.
Soup is just running around doing whatever Soup wants. I love that for her. They are doing an incredible, like this was the first one. They just waited. Knew that someone was going to be peeking there. Did they expect that was going to be Rosie? Probably not. But was able to find the pick there regardless, forcing Ruzi to go over to the Genji. Got a beautiful, slightly delayed Nano Blade, but Nano Blade nonetheless, in all forms, and got so much value, but unfortunately just wasn't able to find the same amount of value in the rest of the series. I'm sorry, in the rest of this first round of Gibraltar.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little interesting here to see what Sabres could now do up on their defense. Maybe they could lock in, possibly get this point against Timeless Nightmare. But I gotta say, it was a very hard push for Sabres.
It was. And they were able to push it underneath the oh, we don't have need for about 12 seconds. I see, my bad. But we are seeing that they were able to push it all the way almost to first, which is pretty good for a Timeless, where all they gotta do is, oh, we gotta push it to first.
Yeah. And this could be a little scary for Sabres, but Soup just trying to find some value here with that scope. Well, that would have been
Trying to
crazy.
find on Julie, who's kind of peeking out, teasing Soup a little bit there with her head hitbox. Naku pretty much pushing the payload a good amount as well, and able to do the same thing again.
Oh yeah, I like what Sabres is doing though against Timeless Nightmare, you know, trying to know that Soup is going to be there up on an angle. So they're trying to play this more a little defensively to make sure they look out for that Widow, which I gotta say, with that sleep there, they might be able to do something.
And a big purple, Zachary K has to respect that against D-Megged and shut down by instinct. Now Rosie can be finding Soup, trying to get someone who's just one. Couldn't track him well enough, and Soup gets out almost scot-free, and it looks like, honestly, Rosie kind of in a put themselves in kind of a bad spot.
Yeah, and they do ping it here where Rosie will try and walk out in that shot.
Oh! I mean, Crizzy finds Fabi, and oh no, Soup is going for the 1v1 against the Ana here. Melody trying to peel over here, trying to get something started. Crizzy, unfortunately, just not with the team. Not get shut down. Does get shut down by Zachary though. So there's a little bit of a life seen by the Sabres.
Yeah, this is what Sabres needs here, going up against Timeless Nightmare, a really strong team up in this, you know, brackets here. But, you know, looking at what Soup could do, it's a little dangerous for Sabres. But if Sabres keeps on putting this aggression towards Timeless, they could have something. Oh my god, Soup getting that pick.
Here comes the sights. Trying to find Julie here, who's kind of taking the same angle, Soup narrowly whiffing every single time. Here comes a nano boost on both ends here from Melody and Zachary K. They both have bombs for Remag, but Kersey saw out and shut down by Melody alongside her fellow Handog. Zachary K going for the Remag and gets shut down by Fabi from an off angle. That's gonna be pretty much it. Big pulse bomb from Naku. As Timeless Nightmare pushes it to that first objective and gets a second point on the board, 2-0 in the series lead so far.
I gotta say, Soup must have been aim training before this match. Soup has been on fire, especially during this Gibraltar pick. We got to see so much nice shots. Especially this play for sure.
Soup was just playing Overwatch 2. Like, that's all I could really say to that. Soup was playing the game how the game was meant to be played. Like, uncontested. I feel like a lot of times people were not respecting Soup. You know? They weren't respecting the sidelines. They weren't respecting Soup's Widow. And Soup knew that she can get away with so much more because of the lack of respect from Sabres.
Though I gotta say, Timeless Nightmare fans must be extremely happy. But the fans of Sabres still not giving up here for sure. I mean, we got to see a nice couple plays there just doing the defense, some nice plays up on their attack here up on Gibraltar. Even that first map of Busan is extremely close. But taking this one up on Gibraltar, I gotta kind of say the same way. Even though it was to that 1:40, they still took time off of Timeless.
Huge pulse bomb from Naku, by the way. Could have been better. Yeah. I can't lie. It got somebody. That entire push on Gibraltar, it got nobody, but only one. It got themselves. But regardless, we're gonna go into a very quick break between this map and next map. Hopefully, for Timeless Nightmare, they take it 3-0 and move on to grand finals. But 5-minute break. We'll be right back. And we are back. Ooh, we're back with the map 3 for Timeless vs Nightmare versus EXN Sabers. Timeless
Fogu.
up a entire 2-map lead against the Sabers, who are now kind of in a uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
One that they have a little bit of deja vu about, may I also add.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Sabres is kind of in that same position as their last series, where now they're gonna have to force themselves to like a reverse sweep situation, which this is their only way to getting up into that grand final. But can Sabres do it? It's a maybe up on everybody's chances. Timeless Nightmare has been hitting shots with Soup up on that Widow, and it's just been fantastic and nasty Widow gameplay.
It really has been, and we were talking about it a little bit backstage. Um, the respect on Soup's Twitter, which is simply not really there for Sabers. You know, Soup was hitting most of those shots. I bet they have like a 70% crit rate, you know,
Yeah.
from how well and how consistent they were clicking heads and finding so much value and having great positioning, great awareness, getting peeled by Melody on the tank for Nightmare. So now that we're going to this map 3, the choice last time I want to say was King's Row for Sabers, as they
Yes.
forced the brawl against Amethyst, and they had a lot of value, a lot of wins on that. And it looks like we're actually going to be going over to Esperanza, another map which way they won on. They're deciding map
Yeah.
actually of the last series. So I think with that in the back pocket, in the back of their mind, I think they can do pretty well with a push.
So we're back to the city of Portugal, the streets of the beautiful Esperanza. Heading up into this one, I gotta say, we might be able to see the Zachary K. Ramatra still played, or do you think, I know that we got to see a series from yesterday where a ball composition could possibly be played here, but I don't know. It's gonna be a little surprising.
It is. And I do want to see what we're going to be locking in on the comps here. I know for Sabres, they're likely going with their Matra. But I think Melody might go for the... We're either going to go see a dive, a Melody Diva, or we're going to be seeing
Yeah.
the Malga. Either or. So in 2 seconds, I'm going to see. I'm going to be wrong. Me when I'm wrong. Whoa,
Oh boy.
whoa, wait.
Oh boy.
Wait. Me when I'm
Wait, I was
wrong.
cooking. I was cooking.
Oh, no, okay. No, Melody is staying with the Malga. Zachary K, your wish came true, Nia. Zachary K on that
Yeah.
ball.
And this is what I was talking about. Zachary K could really bring that momentum with that ball composition to go quick, slam up on those enemies, get those mines extremely massive, fast, every little thing possible. But we are back up on the streets of Portugal, up in Esperanza, and it should be a fantastic one.
Oh, Zachary K is already going and rolling around to the back, and on that bridge, yeah, they can see everyone there, and I bet Sam is like, oh my god, Zach's on ball, dang it. Also, Julie, on the Echo, gonna be seeing Rosie on the Genji mirroring Naku here. Now, Zachary K's job is to make this as crazy as possible.
Oh boy.
Not when you can't get out, and you can't be, can't get a speed in time to remove yourself from that situation. So, Timeless Nightmare finds a very one team fight so quickly.
Yeah, and that's pretty unfortunate for Sabres there. Zachary really didn't get the speed out from, Chrissy. But, just saying that it was unfortunate, they still have this chance coming back. And Zachary K is trying to put this momentum up onto the side of Timeless Nightmare.
Big pummel comes through, but no. Oh, big stickies coming in from Julie. Naku's so low, has to get some little bit of care.
Dead?
Yeah, Fabi's dead. Nice honing from Julie there, but Soup able to find a pickup on top of Julie. Oh, Melody is just focusing everybody. Everyone's burning. Sir Hanon can't get much value. And it's just a matter of the fact that the bot is still running towards that objective, towards that first checkpoint.
Yeah, and the more that Timeless Nightmare does this to the side of Sabres, they might just be running away with this one up on the streets of Esperanza. But, as you were talking about, right, Melody's doing a fantastic job up on that Malka, but looking at these ults, right, Timeless Nightmare and Sabres will be approaching some.
They're going to be having that Deadeye, which Soup has been very consistent in finding value, especially being sped in by Fabi. Speaking of, here comes the pump. Oh, no, Pommel. 77%, 2 mines, though Zachary K is out of there. As fast as they were in there, now they're back in there. Rolling right on through, putting pressure on Soup there. Ooh, Oh, getting so low. No one can really find the value. Goes to it. We do see the Suzu. We need to care for Zachary K before they're able to go back in and wreak havoc on Timeless Nightmare. Zyla is again right. The deflect has been expended, and here comes the continued rush first and foremost for Timeless.
Yeah, this is getting a little scary for the side of Sabres, but they do dupe and they hit the mines out, so maybe something could go for Sabres.
We have the cage from the duplicated Gecko here on top of Soup, who gets a sound barrier to help him out, but not for long before Sir Handdog gets right in there. We see the Dragon Blade come through, but Sir Handdog just can't get the right amount of care before Naku just kind of rolls right on over her. Not before Julie comes right back and pops off.
So here we go, Sabres now bringing this bot back to that midway to where they need to start escorting that push bot. Now I gotta say, you know, Sabres, I do like their aggression with this ball, but can they really keep this up against Melody, which has been doing a fantastic job? We're about to see a cage fight up into this one, so if you're Zachary K, you need to be prepared for that.
You're absolutely right. You have to be prepared for everything that comes your way. Melody has the cage. We also have the Deadeye, so it's probably going to be a Deadeye cage combination from Soup and Melody here if they can get the right setup. But everyone in Sabres is so far apart. We can't get a good cage going besides the fact that you got hit. Oh, the hinder was massive. Couldn't find this pummel value. We expended Suzu early on for Instinct, and Soup is so wide. Can we get her? We do. Oh, there it is. There is no Deadeye. Yeah. Rosie going to be going for the Dragon Blade inside the cage, and that's all that she wrote. Wow, very well coordinated team fight from Sabres there.
Yeah, this is definitely something that they needed here up on Esperanza to make their chances even more for the side of Sabres. And as I was talking about, I feel like Zachary K definitely managed that fight really, really well. You know, Zach really read Melody's mind there with that cage fight, and Sabres followed it up.
Oh, Zach just waiting. Again, really close to this mine. They're gonna get this pummel. Oh, no, they got sawed out.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and here she comes. Oh, she's about to come. And he's out of there. Yep. Zachary has left the building, going over to Instinct again, peppering her with a lot of pressure, forcing out this swift step. And here's the high noon, and it finds Julie, but the trade-off. Evaporated.
Yeah, and it seems to be Timeless Nightmare is going to be trying to push this one back, and if you are Chrissy and Sir Handdog, you'll have to try and rearrange what you could do here with your team, because you get to see these ultimates charging up for Sabres. So you have Mines, Dupe, Rally, you're almost halfway to that Orbital Ray, which I feel like Chrissy can for sure charge that up, but Timeless Nightmare still doing a fantastic job, but those Mines are out from Zach.
Oh, she'll be fine. Naku, however, who's so low, but gets healed up right on by the time the Nightmare's backline here. But not for long. We go see the duplicate onto the Malga coming from Julie, and just putting all the pressure in the world as they possibly can into the side of Timeless Nightmare, as the bot has been stolen by her, and they can't pass by these mines yet.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little, you know, scary for the side of Sabres still, because the Echo was focused there, so Melody will be able to find that pick. But, you know, Timeless Nightmare with this aggression up on the Sabres, it's showing.
Comes a bot, so we start pushing the objective further down Sabres' own lane here, going into their territory. Just a couple of more pushes needed for Timeless Nightmare to get a spot in Grand Finals. Sir Handdog goes for the rally. It's interrupted for a second. They're super low, but Chrissy trying to keep them up a little bit longer, but Melody is just right in front of their face. And now she's back to the objective where Julie just gets shredded by Naku on the bot itself. This is Zachary K. There are no mines, just pummeling down. And we're committing with the Juno Orbital Ray. And I don't know if I'm really a fan of it there.
Though, yeah, I gotta say, Timeless Nightmare basically used every single ultimate there, and Instinct will have their Kitsune Rush here shortly for Timeless Nightmare. But EX and Sabres, right? You kind of have a favorable, you know, ult economy here. Zachary K will be able to get those mines here shortly, but the Blade is out.
Oh, but Fabi is gone, and there's a Dragon Blade coming through, shutting down the supports for Timeless Nightmare, and Soup gonna be counting themselves here.
Oh,
yes, they're one, however. She got her one on Rosie, but the team fight's over. Sabres has reclaimed the bot in their favor, but 134 to 37 meters, that is a lot of distance to cover in 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I gotta say, maybe Sabres could possibly do it here, but they need to fight their way really, really hard up into this strong front line that Timeless Nightmare can really put up against Sabres. Now, Timeless Nightmare will have Instinct's ultimate, so Instinct will be aggressive with that Kitsune Rush here shortly for Timeless, but Sabres, only with Zachary K's ultimate, they're trying to charge up that dude.
There's some mines that kind of disrupt the flow of Nightmare for a second, but there's the Kitsune Rush we were talking about earlier, and they're going straight in with it. The aggression is there from Nightmare. The momentum is so in their favor. It is a done deal with only 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, and it's going to be that recontest that Sabres definitely needs here with this duplication and that rally upcoming for the side of Sabres. So it's really going to be interesting to see what they could do with those two ultimates, but you still need to watch out for this Timeless Nightmare team. The aggression that they have been plummeting up into this Sabres team has been so significant this series.
Rosie's about to go down. Julie's about to get the duplicate. He's going to go for the Malga once more. And there it is. Here's a duplicate onto the Malga. Zachary K is gone. They have a new tank. We go for the sound barrier, and Julie's getting pelted by every angle. Their hand dog has to go for the rally to keep up their new tank before Zachary K can come back on their own Malga. We get the cage fight. We block off the bot. No one can touch. No one can approach. Here comes the Nano Blade. The Blade, I'm sorry, just from Naku. And thankfully, Sir Handog's there to shut them down immediately.
Yeah, and Sabres are definitely still fighting this point, but Soup with the 2K.
That was huge. Big Deadeye from Soup. Unfortunately, it's just Instinct and it's just Babby. Still left on the bot. It's a done deal. Still 134 to 37. A minute has now entered the scene. It's only a minute left on the clock here.
Be honest, I mean, Timeless Nightmare might have just put themselves in a bad position. They won't have these TPS ultimates, nor their main support, but they are building up their flex and their main tank. So Melody will have this cage fight to use, Instinct trying to charge up that Kitsune Rush, but if you're Sabres, right, you really only have this Genji Blade ultimate that's charging up.
Oh, Darkin right in, uses the Malgo cage fight here. Beautiful Suzu from Instinct, keeping up Melody even longer, but not for too long. Melody does go down, but Timeless is so good at just kind of cleaning it right up, and oh, that is a slight dagger on Zachary K. They're not even gonna bother to push the bot, I think, are they? Nah. Oh, they are. Okay. You can bother to push everyone because it's 20 seconds left on the clock.
And this is going to be very unfortunate for the side of Sabres because now you're going to be putting yourself back up into the situation, pushing, if you do get the bot, you're going to be pushing this one all the way back to that 37. So I'm really interested to see what Sabres could do. They have this cage fight almost, and they have that blade duplication building up, but Timeless Nightmare with this Kitsune Rush, they're going to go aggressive.
Aggressive with that Dragon Blade, and Rosie gets hindered away from finding Soup in the fray. Now good shots on Zachary K, who's fighting for their life on this objective, but that's gonna really be it. Duplicate onto the Malga, gets burned away, and Julie is down. No one can touch the point. There's no way Sabres can contest here. It is a 3-0 W for Timeless Nightmare. GG's in chat. Timeless will be getting their run back with Lava Lilies on the main screen at Overwatch_esports.
Yeah, and what a fantastic series for Timeless Nightmare to get up into this grand final. 3-0 against Sabres here. I gotta say, though, you know, Sabres really tried fighting against this Timeless Nightmare team. There was a lot to look back at, but Soup, with all the ultimates, with all the headshots, the picks, everything, Soup is a miracle.
It's a miracle worker. Soup is doing church. I love that for her. I love that for her. And also, seriousness is a 3-0 victory for Timeless Nightmare. It went kind of how I expected, honestly. And now that our teams are going to be getting ready to go forward into Lava Lily's grand finals, that is going to be a banger. If our winners finals between them is any indication, that grand finals is going to be even more intense than last Miners grand finals between Timeless and previously missed Emeralds.
Yeah, should go all the way, and you know, I bet the chat for you know, Overwatch Esports would Definitely love that series for sure, and even the casters over there. But yeah, this series has just been fantastic. The games that we have covered today up on stream have been fantastic as well. But talking and look at the side of Timeless Nightmare, they have so much potential up on the side with their DPS players. We get to see Naku with the blade, Soup with those DPS headshots, every little thing possible for Timeless Nightmare really, really clicked this series, and definitely give the credit for the rest of the team as well. We got to see, the supports carrying Melody a lot, so big, big factors for Timeless Nightmare in this series against Sabres.
I know. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I just got word that we're getting an interview with Naku? Question mark? If
Have
I
you?
heard correctly. Um, we're getting an interview. I think it's with Naku. And that's gonna be fun. Um, I do want to ask, if it is Naku, I want to ask Timeless, what is their game plan going into a rematch with Lava Lilies? Um,
Yeah,
I
that's gonna
just
be
I don't want them to spoil anything, you know, because Lovelace is watching right now. I see y'all, you're watching, but I don't want them to spoil anything. So it's like, I want to know what they're gonna do differently. How can they win?
and maybe they'll bring that aggression that they brought over up in their last match with Lava Lilies, right? I gotta say, this is a rematch that everybody wanted to see throughout the brackets, and just looking as it looks to be, Timeless Nightmare 3-0ing throughout this series, making their way up into this grand finals. And I gotta say, we have a really nice grand finals up on our hands.
Oh, we do. Oh, we do. I see Naku in the chat. Bring my goat in there, please. Please bring my goat in there. Aw.
Uh,
Cross it for a quick break. So we're gonna go be professional, go to a very quick break as we set up our interview with Naku from Timeless Nightmare. We'll be right back with that. everybody? We are back with an interview between Naku and IGN Melody. Robin, I am so happy to see you. Naku, I'm happy to see you guys. You guys had a wonderful victory here, not even just today, but yesterday as well. So, how are we feeling, you guys?
I think right now we're just confident. There's just there can't be any nerves, any fear. I'm also that match was really fun. Is I think what was important is that like throughout that entire series we were just having fun.
Oh, it's so good to hear. I have to say, my first question to you guys: I have been here with bated breath, anxiety, my blood pressure is through the roof, and I'm Hispanic. I can't be having all that happen in my life right now. So, I have to ask, what are your expectations going into a rematch with Lava Lilies in Grand Finals?
I mean,
I I believe in us. I believe in us to pull out the 3-0. I think we got it this time.
or
Oh, spicy! Ooh, the
I
3-0?
I think going
I
into
believe
grand
it. I believe
finals, something that's important is like there can't, nothing is in our head but winning. That it's no
course.
it's no disrespect to Lava Lilies.
Of course.
It's no saying we're better and we know we're gonna win. It's just that that's the only thing on our mind. It's only winning. Only visualize it where you can only visualizing the win from here on out, no matter what happens. Whether we go down a map, go down 2 maps, go down 3 maps, whether it becomes a reverse sweep situation, it doesn't matter. We're only visualizing the win. So that's how we're going in to these grand finals.
Yeah, that is fantastic from, both of you guys. We got to see, a lot of that, engaged pressure from y'all. But question for Robin, which is Melody. What do you think of the tank matchup heading up into this grand final?
Honestly, I don't think there's a tank that Lava Lilies can fight me on that I can't beat them on.
Oh,
I love
that
the
is a
spicy.
strong statement,
I
honestly.
now, of course, obviously, I won't be playing. I obviously it won't just be me that is doing that. Obviously, I have my teammates that are helping me a lot with that. But I am very confident in my team that no matter what we do, we can win.
That's good. Honestly, that is big momentum for y'all, for sure. Even another question for you, Melody, is looking at what Blood Bunny could do up on the Winston. Are you scared of that at all?
Not in the slightest. I was playing incorrectly yesterday, and I will change that today.
Oh, I love to hear that. I was
It's fantastic.
definitely thinking like between yesterday and today, you guys went back and reviewed every minute detail between
We definitely did.
map one. Yeah, I know y'all did because it was such a close. It was so close on that Gibraltar map on every single one of them. So, all right, my final question for you guys. All right, let out, have a breather, and before you guys go to the mainstream on Overwatch Esports, I'm gonna ask you guys each to give a shout out to whomever you feel deserves on the Risingcord stream.
I'm gonna say that Prod has been so good today. I love Calling Our Heroes, and anything coming from Calling Our Heroes. Risingcord is so good, and the spotlight it puts on the rising players is so good for the community. And with Prod getting better, it just means more eyes can be on this community, and I hope that even more eyes come to the future because I think all the work that Prod's putting in has been absolutely amazing, and it has really shown that the quality of the podcast has consistently gone up, and that's so important.
I think I'm gonna cry. Melody, shout out from you.
I have to give a shout out to my team. A mix of everybody doing their job, pulling through when they need to. When I have Naku on Genji or Tracer, or when I have Soup on Widow slash Cassidy, everybody's doing their job, and I'm loving it. I love the team synergy we have so far.
I love watching it. Your team synergy genuinely goes past the screen that I'm watching. I can see it. I can feel it. I'm rooting for you guys into this grand finals. Congratulations on this 3-0. I am rooting for you all the way into grands with Lava Lilies. So go prepare. Go get wherever you need. Go some water. Go do some
Fight
green
for that
gas.
win. Yeah.
Yeah, go.
That's-
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm hoping for the best from either of the teams here. But thank you for this interview, by the way. You guys are wonderful. hoping everything goes well in the main stream for you guys.
Thank you for having us, and
Of
thank you for
course.
streaming it.
Of course.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, and they're gone just like that, like an angel's kiss. Oh my goodness. But that is all from us, Nia. We have to, you know, give it over to the main broadcast, who will be again taking Lava Lilies versus Timeless Nightmare in their own hands with their own production and their own casters. That being, I want to say, is Tiny Shiny up on there. So kind of excited.
Maybe.
They're also gonna be they're also gonna be covering the Challengers finals right after Rising finals. So we have a stacked main event for you guys over there on Overwatch_esports over at Twitch. But otherwise, that is all we have for you guys today. We will be bringing them, so you know, a little bit less work for all you lazy people. I'm kidding. In all seriousness, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for having me on the broadcast. You guys know I love you guys as a player, as a friend, and as a commentator. So thank you for having me once again.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But yeah, this will be the end of this broadcast, but we are going to be rating the Overwatch esports. But what a series we had, what all the games that we have played throughout the streams that we have done this weekend have been so fantastic. So thank you for everybody up in the community that has been up in chat, rooting us casters on, players, production, every little thing possible. It is much appreciated. So much love.
And that is all. Shout out to production, shout out to all of our observers, shout outs to our replay observers. That is amazing that we had that today as well. So shout out to everybody. And that is all. Please go root on our friends, Lava Lilies and Timeless Nightmare over on Overwatch Esports. We'll be rating momentarily. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Bye bye, everyone.